Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Infinite Energy ICCR first race meeting of the year, and we're coming to you courtesy of the Beacon Hospital, who's sponsoring our live stream as they did in 2023. We will be live streaming from every ICCR event here at Mondello Park in 2024. So we had a rough morning in terms of weather. We had hailstones, sunshine, all sorts of stuff. We're live on board now with one of the drivers. We're in the ztech Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. This is Kelsey Kirby. She's an instructor at Mondello Park. She's in her third year racing in the Fiesta Zetecs Championship. And we will be riding live on board with Kelsey. That's her car there right in the center of your screen now. The black and purple car just going around turn one. So as ever, this is the biggest grid of the weekend. It's been the biggest grid in motor racing for the last 3 years. It's sponsored by the West Dublin Safety Solutions company, ztech Safety Solutions. And Neil Murphy is with us in the paddock all day. He's practically class coordinator as well. He's really welded himself to this gig. He gets on really well with the drivers, and we'll have a look at the grid now shortly. There we go. On pole position is Peter Barrable, last minute, literally in qualifying. He managed to plant it on pole. And the young Northern Ireland visitor, Michael Graham, he's won the Kirkestown Championship. His father is well known to us, Derek Graham, but it's Michael Graham's first time to Mondello Park, and he's on the front row of the grid. That's pretty impressive stuff from young Michael Graham. Car beautifully turned out as well. Then it's David Maguire Jr. You saw his dad in the Seats in the Supercup earlier on. Then Andy Kavanagh, very experienced driver, started racing Formula V back in the mid-90s, went into Formula Shane, has raced saloons, raced Zetecs for a long time now, and he's always very quick in the miles plus car. Then it's Mick Keogh, who's made great improvements over the winter. I'm not to say anything about the weight loss. Both the car and himself have shed a few kilos. Mick is running 10Ks and 5Ks and not eating as many biscuits with his cup of tea as he used to before. Great competitor, Mick Keogh, well known to us from multi-venues and auto tests and stuff like that before. Had to go with these Zetecs, and himself and Jay Dunningham worked so hard on that car over the winter, and it's mint. It's worth a look if you're in the paddock. William Kellett as well, former champion in this class, and a very, very quick driver. The clue again in the surname comes from a real motorsporting family, but Williams won a lot of stuff before. Then Alan Dawson on row 4. Jason O'Connell, who won the Rookie Championship last year. Jason O'Connell just brand new last year in the Rookie Championship, but not only did he win that, he managed to win a race outright. Jason O'Connell, a lot of talent there, car number 89 on row 4. Then Sean McGovern, who wouldn't usually be back that far at all, Sean McGovern, and alongside him is Sam Doyle, and that is a really impressive performance. Now, Ulick Burke from the Tire Brigade did tell me to watch out for Sam Doyle. He reckoned he was going to be quick. That's the Texaco replica livery car there, and he's way up the grid and first of the rookies. Then it's James Byrne, who won the Rookie Championship 2 years ago, and then it's our camera woman, is Kelsey Kirby. She's on row 6. Then it's Eduardo Gonzaga, our Brazilian driver. We cover all nations. Then Mark O'Donoghue, well known to us at Mondello Park, has raced these for a number of years. Then it's Mick McArdle on row 8. Mick McArdle, sponsored by the Attic Company, and they're here today, do Attic conversions, so he'll be hoping to convert his qualifying position into a good race finish. That's as corny as the jokes get today. I sound like Matt Feeney. Then Keith Lenihan alongside another beautiful car, the Keith Lenihan Motors car coming into view there. It's really well turned out. Phil Lawless from Mondello Park in the ztech Safety car. Josh Brown, another one of the quick rookies from last year. Toby Maguire is the Junior Rallycross champion. Jordan Flanagan, another rookie, back with us again. David Bradley, Adam O'Mahony, Mark Daly, Alex McCann, first race. Liv Corcoran, her first race, and Evan Harding. So a huge grid, and away they go. And Barrable gets the jump, but Graham actually getting the nose ahead as they head under the bridge. Can he get across in front of Michael Barrable as they head down towards turn 1? Peter Barrable, I should say, of course, not Michael. He can't. No, Peter Barrable goes back at him, locks the inside front up over the curb. Graham goes sideways, goes around. Oh dear, all the way around, and connects with Andy Kavanagh. They all slow right down. There's a lot of headlight glass on the road there. The novice is staying away. Somebody's badly damaged there. That's Alan Dawson's car. Probably will give us a red flag, but Alan Dawson in the middle of the track with a lot of damage there. I'm not sure who he connected with. It was just cold back tyres on Michael Graham's car, and around it went. I think he's still going and his car might be okay, but it's Barrable, Maguire and Keogh now, and McGovern from way back on the grid as they come back towards us. They may be able to get that car out of the way. They're already down there. Not so sure, but there's a lot of damage on Alan Dawson's car down at turn 1. Don't see red flags just yet. Safety car's been scrambled, so we won't be robbed of a race. A lot of smoke from Mick Keogh's car there in third place. So I wonder, is there a problem with Mick Keogh's car? It's great to see Mick up there. This is what he's aimed for. He said to me this is a year that he has to get somewhere near the front. Peter Barrable waving at the rest of them to slow down a little bit. Don't think they'd seen the safety car perhaps. But so novices now will have to just toe the line here. First time they've ever raced, never mind first time they've ever encountered a safety car. Some of the guys and ladies right at the back. So we'll keep an eye on them. We're on board with Kelsey Kirby, down to second gear now at the final corner. Just readjusting her mirror. She's managed to stay out of trouble up at, or down at turn 1. No problems for Kelsey now as they come out onto the main straight. They're being waved on behind the safety car. William Kellett also stayed out of trouble. Phil Lawless too in the Ztech Safety Solutions car. The added company car of Mick McCardle going through auto exhausts for Mark O'Donoghue. Sam Doyle qualified so well. Jason O'Connell dropped back. They cost him a little bit of time avoiding that incident down there. Michael Graham's got damage on the front of his car. It's just a headlight hanging off and a bit of the front bumper. It probably sounds terrible from inside the car, but there's no real damage there at all. Should be okay. Toby Maguire there, 973. Looks like he's had a little bit of a clip on the side. Liv Corcoran managed to get by that. That's the daughter of Gary Corcoran, known to us from say at Supercups, of course. She's a big motor racing fan, making her race debut this weekend. That will have been a little bit daunting for the novices. Down into turn 1, cars absolutely everywhere. Now, they used the head, most of them. You saw people winding off the lock, going around the outside, some of them going up onto the grass on the inside to avoid it. But heavy enough collision down there. And in fact, they're stopping the cars on the straight. The rescue unit are just blocking the track. I think they want to get rid of that glass before anybody goes by. There's a lot of glass on the circuit. So the rescue crew are highly trained guys, and they know exactly what they're doing. So they're blocking the track with the rescue unit. They're going to sweep that up and just get the debris off the track before anybody else drives over. There's a great shot of it, and you can see Alan Dawson's car there in the background. Just while they're doing that, we might go back and have a quick look and see exactly what happened, because we can go back, of course, with the See It Live crew downstairs, and let's have a look at what happened down into turn 1. So here they come. The leader locks a wheel. Might slow it down a little bit. There we are. Cold back tyres on Michael Graham's car. Armful of obstacles. Almost gets into it. So Dawson into the back of Kavanagh, and then a few more in. That's what happened. It's very, very reminiscent of the famous, I think it was 1985 or 86, was it? The production saloons. I'm putting on my anorak here, but there's a very similar incident years ago, famous, with John Wood's Corolla and Mike Armstrong in the Cadet. You can see it on YouTube, and that's exactly what happened. Car just connected with the car in front of them, was driven into it again from behind, and that's what's happened to Alan Dawson's car. So he will play no further part in proceedings at Mondello Park. So just as the car has been removed there, I think let's go back and have a look at that. We can slow that down again, the guys can. So let's go back and have a look again and just slow that right down and see what happened, because it certainly wasn't any pushing or shoving. It's just one of these things that happened. So that car is being taken away, but let's have one more look at this. So Peter Barrable is leading. Here he comes. Watch Michael Graham on the outside. Coleridge goes in really late in the brakes and chucks the car in. Barrable gets in over that inside curb, but at the same time the back end is letting go on Graham's car. Look at this, he gets on the bar, tries to balance it, but it's already going around. Everybody else behind lifting off. Watch Andy Kavanagh. Andy Kavanagh just makes contact with him there. Alan Dawson straight into the back of Andy Kavanagh, and then it looks like Jason O'Connell into the back of him. Yeah, that's what it was. So Jason O'Connell making reasonably heavy contact into Dawson's car, and that shoves Andy Kavanagh's car straight on. So young Graham's car is fine. Look at the others, just a great avoidance from some of the novice drivers there. Would have been very easy for 3 or 4 more cars to pile in there, but that was not really anybody's fault. It just happened, really. There's the cars held down there. The airport driving skill car of Peter Barrable. He's the reigning Irish Legends champion, and just having a go at the Zetecs for a little bit of fun. Then the JMC car of Dave Maguire, another red and white car right behind him. Dave Maguire Jr. very, very quick in this championship last year. Got himself into a few tumbles and scrapes, but he's got a lot more experience now, with no shortage of pace. Then the immaculate car. That car is one of the best prepared cars in the paddock, never mind on the grid. That car of Mick Keogh, the Jay Dunnigan car, it's absolutely beautiful. Inside, outside, under the bonnet. Really nice car. Then young McGovern in the Morgan Dempsey run car. Eduardo Gonzaga well up in the Leven car. Keith Lenihan Motors. Okay, so as they're all streaming through there, I think we can go back to Kelsey. Oh, Andy Kavanagh's car with a bit of damage in the back. I think we can have a look at this incident from Kelsey's. It might have been breaking up a little bit. Here we are. We're on board with Kelsey Kirby now. She's heading down towards turn 1. This is slowed down, of course. Let's see her view of it. She's right behind Sam and that Texaco livery car down to second gear. You can see them all locking up on the inside. It's breaking up just a little bit. Let's see how she avoids it. She doesn't quite, a little bit of a tip, but avoids the heavy incident. Somebody comes across. That's Toby Maguire on the inside. Well, she did well to get away from that one. Kelsey Kirby's like a video game. Cars everywhere. But she's straight back on the throttle and chucks it into Campion corner to join back in there again. So you can just see how hectic it was. You might think these cars are not particularly quick, but they're going at a good lick in third gear, heading down towards turn 1, even from a standing start. But something like that happens at turn 1. So here they come back towards us again. So I think we're just missing one car. I'm looking at the back gate now. 2. Oh, young Graham's car is in. That's a shame. I wonder can they get that car back out, because it certainly doesn't look structural. It's got a headlight and a problem with the bumper, but there's somebody working on it there. I would assume that's probably Derek Graham. Wonder can they get that car back out onto the circuit. Now scrutineers pointing at him and telling him to park it over in the corner. Right, well that probably means he won't be out in this one. There's a little bit of reasoning going on there. I think his dad wants to get the car and get fixed for race 1, but a lot of gesticulation going down in the scrutiny bay. So his dad is Derek Graham, of course, well known to us here, multiple championship winner, and his grandfather Aubrey, also well known to us here. Great people coming down from the north. Great to have them back here, and the next generation now racing with us, Michael Graham, and to stick it on the front row. I know he's probably disappointed, but to qualify in the front row on your first visit to Mondello Park in a series as competitive as this is highly impressive stuff. So let's hope the scrutineers let them take that car out and get it repaired for race 2, because we'd love to see that young man on the grid. Well, we can see the Grahams walking back down the paddock there, but I don't know whether they'll get that car back out. Let's see what happens later on. He's not going to make this race, unfortunately. So just a message there from Derek Graham telling us that the car is actually it's a lot more badly damaged than we had thought. It's the chassis legs bent and stuff like that, so he won't be back out to play today, which is a shame. If he lived a bit closer, maybe they could go and get his dad's car. Derek Graham's building an ST, but he's been very successful up the north in his ztech as well. And I think he was on the front row here last year. He was only a pole position in the first race last year, Derek Graham. So that's a shame we won't see Michael Graham back out, but I hope he comes back down. It's great to have Northern Ireland visitors here. They're always very welcome at Mondello Park, and they're never slow. So more of them, please. So we're getting ready to go. We're told 12 laps, one warm-up lap and 12 laps. It won't phase Peter Barrowell at all. He's massively experienced, so there won't be a problem for him. Scrutineers are just having a quick look on some of the cars on the grid for safety purposes, of course. I think the first few cars are okay. Andy Kavanagh's definitely had a little bit of a modification front and back, but I don't think there's anything structural there. Andy, does the car feel okay? Will he give us the thumbs up? I think he's concentrating down there, but Andy Kavanagh will be getting back going in the miles plus car in row 2. He'll have Dave Maguire to contend within that JMC car. Then the immaculate car. Mick Keogh got his immaculate car through there without a scrape on it, which is just as well, or Jay would have killed him, no doubt. And alongside him, 99, William Kellett, who'll be fancying his chances of moving up now, no doubt. Watch out for him, 99. Gap on the grid there from where Alan Dawson was, and then it's Jason O'Connell, another car that was slightly involved in that, but his car looks relatively okay. Very easy for me to say that. It's a little bit of damage over the front right-hand headlight, but I'm sure the scrutineers have checked it and they'd be happy enough with that. Then Young McGovern in that beautifully turned out car. I think it's Medical Banks on the side of that car. Sean McGovern. Sam Doyle, superstar in qualifying, the novice. Watch out for him. James Byrne still there. Kelsey Kirby, our camera car, still there. And Eduardo Gonzaga, another man who's done a lot of work on the car over the winter. It looks fantastic. Then Mark O'Donoghue in the auto exhaust car. Michael McCardle in the Attic Company car. Keith Lenihan in the Keith Lenihan Motors car. We've all got great sponsorship on the side of these cars. We'll get more of them as they get going, but we will be getting away shortly with one warm-up lap and then a 12-minute race. So you can get into this class relatively cheaply. You can still buy some of these cars for $2.5 or $3 grand for an entry-level car. Some of the quicker ones a little bit dearer than that, same as any class, but it's very accessible. They don't cost much to run at all because the engines are pretty standard. You can skim the head and that's about it. You run a controlled set of lowering springs, but you don't run competition shock absorbers. It's a KYB Ford spec shock absorbers. They're very, very cheap, the suspension element, and standard Ford wheels. You're not allowed to run aftermarket wheels. So I think there are 3 different Ford wheels you're allowed to run. And then that is pretty much it. After that, it's the same as anything else. Your seat belts, your extinguisher, your bonnet pins and perspex windows. And that's about it. Mark Daly goes through a beautiful job on that car, as indeed is the Corcoran's auto repair car of Liv Corcoran there. It turned out beautifully. And Kelsey's camera just a little bit unclear down at turn 1, but seems to be clear around the rest of the track. So we'll be jumping on board with Kelsey Kirby a number of times during this race. Hopefully, let's see how she gets on. So nothing but, I'm almost afraid to say it, but nothing but sunshine now at Mondello Park, because we have had, if there were 5 seasons, we would have had all 5 this morning. It was really tough conditions. Your heart always goes out to the marshals. We have the best marshals in the world, I think, at Mondello Park. They're unbelievably good, but they just get such a rough run of it when the weather turns, and they get absolutely soaked and frozen and hard for them to drive. So hopefully they got their feed and got warmed up a little bit at lunchtime, and if it stays like this, it won't be a bad day. They're always big race fans anyway, so they do enjoy getting to see a bit of racing up close. They tend to be very knowledgeable as well. So I wonder who their money would be on for this one. It's hard to pick, isn't it? There's a lot of top drivers in this. Peter Barrable's hard to beat in any car. Andy Cavan has been very, very quick in ZTECs the last couple of years. And then young Dave McGuire and McGovern, 2 real chargers. William Kellett, he's won championships here before in these cars. So yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult to pick someone here. Mick Keogh's plan seems to be going well. He's worked hard. Joking aside, he's worked really hard over the winter, and he's put some commitment in, and he's just jumped up the grids. And he said this was going to be, he had to do it this year. He's been trying for a couple of years, and they've just done everything. They've built the engine. He's been training. He's done everything you need to do if you're going to be successful. Just covering all the options. So a lot of them weaving around. There's always a lot of debate over whether you should do this or not. You know, most racing cars do and most racing drivers do, but these tyres, they've run them before on Toyos, they've run them on Yokohamas, they're on a Nankang tyre now, but they tend to be a road legal tyre. They're a track day tyre, so you don't really want to be getting too much heat into them because they go off pretty quickly. So as soon as you start racing, you're trying to conserve them, but they do, some of them do tend to weave around quite a lot, quite aggressively to try and get heat in for the first couple of laps. Although I suppose Derek Graham's incident would suggest there's no harm getting a bit of heat in the rears. Just went around on him on the outside. I think he went in very, very aggressively on the outside to try and get around the outside for the lead. And that's just what got away. He almost held on to him. Once he went around, it was only a matter of time before, with such a crowded grid, somebody was going to make contact. So Peter Barrable all alone on the front row. Clear road ahead of Sean McGovern now, with Dawson gone. Sam Doyle alongside him, first of the rookies. It's a great qualifying performance for him. Away they go. McGuire with a better start at the 2 second row occupants, and a flyer from William Kellett from the outside of row 3 as they head down under the BMW bridge. There's Mark Daly, there's Liv Corcoran going through, but it's Barrable now. Who's it going to be? Look at Andy Kavanagh on the brakes, and they're rubbing door handles now, but McGuire's not going to let him in there. Good start from James Byrne as well. He's up a couple of places in there. Keith Lenihan going nicely. Phil Lawless in the middle of the mix there. And they stream through Campion Corner and down towards turn 3 for the first time. It's Barrable by about 2 or 3 lengths. The two red cars up front, Barrable, the airport motoring school one, driving school I should say, and then it's the JMC car of Maguire. Then they're all together. McGovern up the inside of Keogh, but Mick Keogh sits around the outside of him and takes that place back on the exit of turn 3. So Mick Keogh in 5th place now. He was 3rd before the stoppage, remember. So it's Barrable, it's Maguire, Kavanagh, Kellett. Oh, and a little bit of help from Mick Keogh, and he's been shoved right around there. I'm not sure who that was behind him. Let's see, out the window was, it's hard to tell. I think it was James Byrne. But lucky not to go round there, Mick Keogh. It did cost him a place, but somebody hooked him up by the back bumper and just kept it pinned. That could have been a little bit nasty now coming halfway through the S's. That puts Jason O'Connell up a place, and Mick Keogh trying to get that place back now. They're in finish lap 1. It's Barrable, Maguire, Kavanagh and Kellett. Then Jason O'Connell, James Byrne, Sean McGovern, Samuel Doyle. Mick Keogh not showing up there at all, is he? He is. He's just showing us down a place. He was a bit slow to come up. James Byrne, Sean McGovern, Sam Doyle leading the rookies by a long way. Then Gonzaga, O'Donoghue, Kelsey Kirby, Keith Lenihan, Josh Brown, Jordan Flanagan second in the rookies. Mick McCardle, Philip Lawless, Toby Maguire 3rd in the rookies. David Bradley, Mark Daly, Adam O'Mahony, Alex McCann, Liv Corcoran all got through safely at the end of lap 1. The first 4 now have made a break. Mick Keogh will be ruining the opportunity he had there. He certainly had the pace to run with these guys, but just got slow there. Now he's back with the dogs. First 4 have got away. There's a big gap back to Jason O'Connell, Mick Keogh, and somebody else side by side of Mick Keogh in the background. That's James Byrne again at the same place on track. Oh, contact again, and Mick Keogh sent out wide at the second bit of the S's at Nordic Spirit corner. Really getting bundled around Mick Keogh there, just behind this group. Back down the inside of the brakes, though he's not in a compromising mood after that, and there's contact between Eduardo Gonzaga, and he just turns around Byrne there at the apex. It's all getting a little bit scrappy. We're not used to this in ZTECs as they come out onto the main straight, but that allows Mick Keogh to get a clear lap, and that allows Sam Doyle up to 8th place and leading the rookies. We're onboarding Emma Kelsey, 3rd gear down to 2nd. Somebody just getting by on the brakes down into turn 1 there. First 4, no change just yet. Barrable not making a break just yet. Dave Maguire still with him, just half a second off. Andy Kavanagh in 3rd place with fastest lap of the race on that first flying lap, but just by a fraction. Then it's William Kellett, then a big gap back to Jason O'Connell, another gap back to Mick Keogh. This time Maguire's certainly a bit closer than Barrable. Barrable taking a conventional line through there, whereas most of the ZTECs let the car run wide coming out of the first bit of the S's. Which doesn't work in most other race cars, but for some reason it does in these little 1250cc Fiestas. Out onto the main straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, absolutely together. It's Barrable, it's Maguire, Kavanagh and Kellett. Fastest lap to Maguire that time round. Oh, he looked like he was fancied having a go there. We're on board with Kelsey Kirby. That's the car that got by her. It's Mark O'Donoghue. He passed her just about here in the final lap. She's staying with him now down to 2nd gear, trying to get back up onto his bumper. Maguire's fastest lap coming up there at 12.1. Cars absolutely together, nobody making a move just yet. I thought William Kellett was shaping up to have a go there, but he's dropped back by a length or 2 at the back of this one. Peter Barrable controlling it all from the front. Maguire sometimes looks slightly quicker around the lap, doesn't he? But catching Peter Barrable is one thing. I don't think getting by would be particularly easy. As we said, he's massively experienced in many other classes. Not so much in this class, ironically enough. I think he borrowed a car a couple of years back and won a race in it. And he's won the 6-hour race, but he's not massively experienced in terms of championship races, sprint races in these cars. So here he is, definitely a little bit closer. This time I think is probably Maguire as they go through. Fastest lap was briefly to Barrable on a 12 dead. Now it's 11.9 for Maguire, who just eclipsed it straight away. Peter Barrable with the car dancing on the brakes under him. Turns in a little bit early just not to leave any gap down there. Don't worry about the sky looking a bit dark there. That's camera tricks maybe. I'm looking out the window and it looks fine. Don't think we're going to see any, well, famous last words. I don't think we'll see any rain during this race. Down into turn 3 now, and it's Peter Barrable, Dave Maguire, Andy Kavanagh and William Kellett. They're just pulling away all the time. Jason O'Connell on a 12.7, Mick Keogh on a 12.7. Sean McGovern behind him at a 12.6, but kind of at 12 dead is where the pace is for these first four, and they're still easing their way away. McKeough being caught slightly by McGovern now, and in fact Sam Doyle still with them, so that's good going from Sam Doyle. It's 8th place overall, the first rookie. Barable super confident there, doesn't feel the need to defend. It's almost like they're sizing each other up, like the first round of a boxing match here. There's nobody making moves just yet, but I think they're all flat to the boards, just trying to get quick laps in because there's no defending going on from any of them. There's Jason O'Connell goes through. There's Mick Keogh. It's McGovern. That's Sam Doyle, the novice. Then it's Mark O'Donoghue. Kelsey Kirby right on his back bumper now. Kelsey doesn't go to the outside, just tracks him down to the first corner. I'm not sure if there's somebody in her mirrors. There's 2 cars parked up. That's Gonzaga and Byrne. You can see them down the escape road there. Barable's got a length or two somewhere and holds on to it through turn 3. So Barable, Maguire, Kavanagh and Kellett from Jason O'Connell, Mick Keogh, Sean McGovern, Samuel Doyle, Mark O'Donoghue and Kelsey Kirby. That's your top 10 at the end of the last lap. They're beginning to stretch out just a little bit. And Kellett, as I thought, it just it's not showing that ultimate pace. He's dropping back just a little bit. He was as quick as them last time around, but certainly that time not so much. This is Kelsey Kirby through the S's. This is Nordic Spirit corner, 3rd gear, right up on the curve. Mark O'Donoghue getting away from her just a little bit now. In fact, he's not just got away, he's passed 2 cars. O'Donoghue on a charge, because that's Keith Lenihan's car ahead of us, I think. It is. And there's somebody else between them as well, as Peter Barable turns into first corner once again. That's the car run nice and wide. Barable gets fast lap 11.8. Yeah, William Kellett dropped 3/10 that time round. So Barable, Maguire, Kavanagh and Kellett still the first 4. So that's Josh Brown that Mark O'Donoghue's just got by to get into the top 10. So O'Donoghue, Brown, Lenihan, Kirby. In fact, that could be Kelsey Kirby having dropped a few places when we went back on board. She was running 10th, she's 12th now. So Josh Brown and Keith Lenihan have got by her somewhere out there. This would be a quick lap by Maguire because Barable was fastest last time around, but certainly Maguire is closer. This is the first time Barable defends. It's the first time any of the top 4 defend, and that's going to slow them all right down. Maguire smells a bit of blood and tries to get the nose up the inside as they come onto the main straight. Barable going to close the door. Look at him watching the mirror on the right hand side. Maguire's just going to drag up alongside him. No, he's not. Barable closes the door very late in the day. It's not a big squeeze, but certainly he's a long way down the straight before he decided to close the door. Oh, Maguire now beginning to have a real go. It's kicking off. They were just sizing each other up. He locks a rear wheel in the LOH car. He goes wide out over the curbs. Andy Kavanagh says, I fancy a bit of that, and he joins in. All of a sudden it's going to kick off, and William Kellett will be smiling away here because he will close right back up to them if they go side by side like that again. Jordan Flanagan also going nicely, 2nd rookie, and has moved up to P13 ahead of Phil Lawless. Toby Maguire, that's the Rallycross Junior Rallycross champion. He's number 15. Sorry, he's running in 15th, and he's 3rd rookie. So he's on for a podium here. Rookies get their own podium, their own prizes from ztech Safety as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 together. It's only 2 minutes to go in this one. Wondering if Maguire's going to have another go. I think they are absolutely flat out. They're doing high 11s. That's probably the pace in the current weather conditions. There's nobody holding back here, certainly. And William Kellett has got a little bit closer by virtue of that scrapping that was going on in front of him in the DMC consultancy car. Kellett right in the mix now in the closing stages of this one. Look at Barable right out to the outside. Have a go if you like, lads. Full racing line for Peter Barable. Massive confidence. Gets it turned in. He'd be looking for that, turn that into 1 length of that to grow into 2 or 3 as he goes through turn 2. But Maguire wasn't that slow through the corner. He's got himself a little bit of an advantage, but not much. Barable's still holding that fastest lap, but only fractions in it. Less than a 10th quicker than Maguire's best. looking behind them. Mick Keogh's got into the low 12s now, and he started to close down. Just watching the background, I think he might have caught Jason O'Connell. Jason O'Connell had stretched away from Mick Keogh, but I think he's got him. He's got back up to him. There you are, top of your screen. He has, and he's brought somebody with him. It's McGovern. And in fact, Sam Doyle not far away either. 4 cars together behind this group. So this is starting the last lap for Peter Barrow, which is 2 kilometres between him and victory here for the opening round of the Siltec Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. But take nothing for granted. We saw what happened on the last lap of Zetecs earlier on. Barrow this time goes defensive. He knows it's the final lap. He's not going to take any chances. He's not trying to pull away anymore. Just cover the gap right out to the outside there. Through turn 3. That's 3rd gear in these cars. Right out to the exit curb. And absolutely flat all the way to turn 3, which you can apparently get through the first apex flat out in these cars without a lift, but you can get a bit messy when you're trying to stop it for the second bit. Most of the drivers, I think, give a small lift there just to keep the car tidy on the way to the second apex here, which is the one that counts because you got the long drag up the hill then. Andy Kavanagh all of a sudden has moved a little bit closer to Maguire. It's very sedate at the front bar. That lap 1 incident is very, it's all very calm with the top 4. There's been no big lunges or moves here. But Maguire certainly on the run up to the final corner, south side for the last time, is close enough to make Barrable defend. Barrable is defending, and Maguire will try surely to get a switch back then on the run to the flag. That's what he does. Right out to the outside, looking for a late turn in. Barrable have seen that coming. There's no way he's letting him get a run. And Barrable, I think, has that covered, but doesn't cover it. Barrable's very confident here on the run to the flag, and Maguire almost up alongside him. It's just about, but Barrable already has the hand out the window. He's so relaxed, Peter Barrable, and he takes a very impressive win. And who's going to be next? We know who the first 4 are. It's Jason O'Connell. We're missing Mick Keogh. On the last lap, something went wrong for Mick Keogh. Sam Doyle, 6th place, and takes a rookie win. Well, there you go. Ulick Burke wasn't lying, was he, when he said watch out for him? I think he might be quick, he said to me. I think he might have done a bit of motocross or something before, Sam Doyle, but that is impressive. Top 6 finish in your first ever ZTech race. So between him and Michael Graham's qualifying position. So behind that was Sean McGovern, who was right with him. Mick Keogh, who fell way back on the last lap, 2 or 3 places. Then Mark O'Donoghue, Keith Lenihan rounds out the top 10. Then Kelsey Kirby, Josh Brown, Jordan Flanagan, 13th, and second rookie, Phil Lawless. We'll let the graphics go around. The next page of graphics will tell us that. We'll just continue from there. There's your top 10. There's our second page. So you see the light blue stripe on the left denotes rookie. So the first rookie is second rookie is Jordan Flanagan. Third rookie is Toby Maguire. He'll be on the podium. 14th was Phil Lawless. 15th Michael McCardle in the Attic Company car. Hope it gets extra money off his sponsor now for mentioning him a couple of times because he's down here today. Then Fiesta Zetec rookie Toby Maguire. Fiesta Zetec David Bradley. Mark Daly in that beautifully turned out car. He'd be delighted to get to the finish of that race. He's just starting off today. Adam O'Mahony, another novice. He'd been a little bit of bad luck last year, so he'd be delighted to get to the flag. And then Alex McCann, who's literally just registered and got the entry in and stuff this week. Liv Corcoran gets a finish as well, and her first signature on her license. Then we're missing Eduardo Gonzaga, James Byrne, Alan Dawson, and Michael Graham. So great stuff from Siltec Safety, Fiesta Zetecs. And a shame about losing a couple of those cars, but I think the final 2, the Byrne and Gonzaga cars, should be fixable and back out for race 2. But let's wait and see. They go into Park Ferme now, and the scrutineers will have a look at them. Scrutineers do a lot of work on this class, and they've certainly made it a lot more equal than it has been historically. The last 4 or 5 years, there've been massive amount of technical checks. They plug the cars in, they read the ECUs, they have controlled shocks that they measure them against. They have a ramp in there, they put the cars up on, like loads of different stuff, and it just makes it much nicer to run in the class where the cars are all so equal. And we've had a few times last year where 17 cars qualified within a second of each other. Doesn't normally happen in any class. So there's a speed trap now on the main straight as well. They always keep an eye on that. So great stuff. And we'll be back with the Siltec Safety Solutions Fiesta Zetecs Championship Round 2 later on this afternoon. So that's the tin top action out of the way. I'll take a deep breath after that and relax a little bit. We've got we'll have a commercial break in a second, and then we'll come back with Boss Ireland, the fastest cars in the paddock, the open single-seater class sponsored by Connolly's Top Line this year. So let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to you with some single-seater action here at Mondello Park. So there's all the Zetecs safety Fiestas in there, bonnets up, a lot of technical checks being done. So meanwhile in the background we can hear the big single seaters being released from the garages and from the pit lane. So Boss Ireland, Boss meaning big open single seaters, so no real registration, no real regulations governing what you can run, so that as a result we get some really quick single seaters. Tony Greenan on pole position. He was last year's champion, drove very well last year. That's him. Perfect picture at the perfect time. He's very, very quick. That's ex-Albon 2015. I think it was the same car he had last year. I think his Mercedes-powered Dallara. I could be wrong, but I will check that. Michael Connolly will be outside him on the front row. 50.574 for Tony Green. That's very, very quick. We've seen a handful of 49s ever, but 50 was the lap record here for many, many years. Conditions were far from perfect this morning, very windy, and Tony Green did a 50.5. Mike Connolly not too far away, 51.7. And then Michael Roach on the second row of the grid running as he always does, number 46 with a 52.395. Then Noel Robinson, another welcome visitor from Northern Ireland, on row 2, 52.8. And Martin Daly in the big World Series by Renault, almost looks like a Formula 1 card. Then Daniel Faherty, Max Hart, who usually races saloons in the Leastone, then Eamon Matheson and Gary Graham. So just 9 cars on the grid for this one, unfortunately. So there's our grid coming up. Connolly's top line, Boss Ireland Championship, Green and Connolly, Roach and Robinson, the first 2 rows of the grid. And it's Martin Daly, Daniel Faherty, Max Hart and Eamon Matheson. And just Gary Graham all on his own in the back row of the grid. Greenan, it is an F17, Delara, and away they go, and Greenan makes a cracking start, leaves the rest behind. Michael Connolly in the Renault World Series tries to get a run and does get a run him and drives by him on the way down to turn 1, but late on the brakes and just coming right back at him as the champion, Tony Greenan. Well, he had to work hard there, Greenan, didn't he? Because Michael Connolly's beautifully turned out Renault World Series just blasted past him going by the grandstand, and it was last of the late breakers. We've been seeing that all day. Great stuff from Greenan to hang on, but looking a bit racy behind him. Oh, very sideways. You can't get those cars sideways like that, can you? Obviously you can. They both got them sideways on cold tires and hung on to them. Michael Connolly there just standing on the loud pedal, and as much opposite lock as the car had was required there, and he did hang on to it, but that cost him a little bit of time, and I think Greenan is deciding it's time for me to get out of here. Then it's Michael Roach and Noel Robinson locked in combat. Here they come. Robinson on the outside. I'm trying to get back up the inside, doesn't manage it on that occasion. Watch out for Daly. Martin Daly, one of the big characters in the paddock, and he gets a run at the 2 F3 cars. He's looking to gobble them up on the main strip, and he gets dear oh dear. Noel Robinson not being too generous with the tarmac there. I don't think he saw that car coming, but Martin Daly was about to blast by at least one of them by the look of it there, wasn't he, as they went by the grandstand. If you're sitting in the grandstand, you're getting all the action today. So it's Greenan, Connolly, Roach, Robinson, Martin Daly, Max Hart, Daniel Faherty, Gary Graham and Eamon Matheson is the order in this one. Matheson not showing actually, so Faherty and Graham the last 2 of the grid. Just 8 cars running in this one. So Roach it is in this group, just ahead of Robinson and Martin Daly. As Connolly gets turned into the final corner. The black car of Michael Roach goes through. Great sound from Connolly's car as it goes by. 2.7 litre, a Renault World Series car. Same car as Martin Daly. So Martin Daly this time gets alongside, locks a wheel. He was never short of commitment, Martin Daly. He's always been great to watch. He started off in an old series Formula Renault. Well, he didn't start off when he came to us in single seaters in Mondello, and he was always a joy to watch, flinging the car around the place. And he's not much different in this big car. It looks absolutely fantastic, and he really does work it hard. Down into the S's now, and it is Roach we're watching here on the Beacon Hospital live stream out of the S's. It's just beginning to open out though, isn't it? They're not getting near each other here. Roach has got enough pace to get away from Robinson, and Martin Daly doesn't seem to be able to get any closer. 2.9 seconds the gap up front, and fastest lap of 50.5, matching his qualifying lap, is Tony Greenan. As Roach goes through Campion corner, up through the gears now. Let's have a look at the Michael Connolly 200 kilometers an hour through the speed drop, 201.1. It's not the fastest we've seen. That was 198 from Martin Daly, pretty much in it as well. So 201 kilometers an hour through the speed drop for the second place car. Robinson trying very hard, and that car beginning to twitch all over the place. He'd love a podium position here. 52.7 last time round for Roach, 53 dead for Robinson. I think Robinson might be a little bit closer this time. Let's have a look. Yeah, he is. He finds another 0.3, closes the gap just a little bit there, down to a 52.7 now. Robinson just drifting the car out there. He's pushing they both are pushing very hard, Roach and Robinson, in this third place battle. Their times come down again, 52.3 and 52.2. Once again, a tenth quicker is Robinson, and he is just inching up to the back of Michael Roach there. And they're leaving Martin Daly a little bit behind. He's a 53.3. In fact, he lost a full second to them that time round. Daniel Fardy now just getting by Max Hart for 6th place. Well, plenty of speed, but not much action in this one, really. This is as close as it gets. Robinson probably closer than he was last time around. Let's watch them as they come out of Southside. You can tell by the body language of Robinson's car, he's pushing very hard, but Roach looking very calm and composed. 52.9, 52.2 for Roach that time, 52.1 for Robinson, so he's just chipping away, taking a tenth every lap. So this battle a little bit stalemate at the moment, although Robinson does come at him on the brakes there from well back into Southside. Roach with a good exit though, so he doesn't quite get up to him there on the main straight. 8 minutes 44 still to go in this one. Going to encounter a bit of traffic though. Gary Graham going very slowly there, circulating in 110, so he's obviously got a problem there. They'll be seeing him again in a few laps, I'd say, at that kind of pace. So it must be a big, big problem for Gary Graham. But they got by him there, no problem, down at turn 1. So Greenan, Connolly, Roach, Robinson, Daly, Fardy and Hart, the order in this one. Gary Graham 2 laps down already. The leader's been by him twice. Well, in fact, this third and fourth place battle are closing. Oh, Robinson with a big look down the inside, doesn't come off. But they're closing down Michael Connolly by 3/10 a lap. Noel Robinson in the 51s now. 51.9, 52 dead for Roach at 57.8 for Michael Connolly that time round. So this could be a battle for second. They're definitely catching Connolly. There he is in front of them at Campion Corner. There must be some sort of a problem. He's dropped by 6 seconds a lap. And Robinson now beginning to pile the pressure on. He looks to the inside there, but Roach has that closed off. I'm sure Michael Roach is thinking, just leave me alone for a couple of laps, we can catch this car in front. We watch the lap times and see now if Michael Connolly gets back up to speed in the top line car. Beautifully liveried that car, really is. The green and white, there it is, just coming into view now. Connolly's top line looks fantastic, and then this time Robinson gets right up the outside. They're side by side. He sits around the outside. Let's see who's got in the straight line. He goes back to the inside now. It's a drag race down the main straight, and I think Roach has possibly left the door open here. Now he's got enough speed there. Maybe he's just confident, left the door open and then moved back to the inside as they approach the braking zone. And now, so it smells a little bit of desperation. Robinson's having to go everywhere. It's really aggressive stuff. He came from a Formula Ford background, and he really is turning the heat up now on Michael Roach and moving around him everywhere. Once he's got up to him, he's looking very confident here. The global car to the first apex, down to the second one. A little better exit there, I think, than the car in front. He got an apex, and Roach just missed it fractionally. That gave the car of Robinson a bit of better impetus, a better run up the hill. Well, that's slowed them down a little bit and allowed Connolly to get away. It's allowed Connolly to get away a lot, actually, this lap. This time again, Robinson down the outside, gets a better run on the way out, sits in behind him. He hasn't got the power to get alongside, has he? They're pretty equally matched in a straight line. Pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to be so late in the brakes here. He gets alongside, but nothing he can do all the way around the outside there. He does think about it though. Then he gets back to the right as quick as he can to try and get a better line through Campion corner to maximise his exit speed all the way down to turn 3. He's using the head here. He's going to the outside. That is brave stuff. Is he going to sit around the outside of turn 3? No, but he's certainly thought about it. He's still thinking about it by the look of it here. Flames from the exhaust as he throws it down a couple of gears. Gets on the power again a little bit earlier. He really is trying everything here. And it's a great drive by Roach. Not getting rattled at all. Just continuing to keep the head down. They're still doing good lap times, although they were a little bit slower last time round. 52 dead. They've done 55 dead last time round. Well, they're going to pass Gary Graham every 2 laps at this stage. Gary gone out to a 112 now in the Formula Renault, whatever the problem is there. But he's an experienced competitor. He should be well able to stay out of the way. But Robinson looking to pull out of the slipstream now as they go down the main straight. He does pull out of the slipstream and gets almost alongside again on the brakes. Then back to the right. We've seen it before. It's Groundhog Day, isn't it, for Noel Robinson? Tries to get that run again on the way out. That makes him quicker and he's trying to get alongside. You can see what he's trying to do here. Roach just giving a little bit of a squeeze, I'd say, on the outside there. It's hard for us to tell from that angle, but certainly Robinson having to back out of it as they head down towards the double apex. Again, it's a better exit that time for Robinson. He gets right into the apex the second time round. 4 minutes and 30 to go in this one. Robinson again high and wide, try and get a better run through Bridgestone and again on through Nordic Spirit to get the run up the hill. Roach will see that coming and defend. That's exactly what he does. Robinson up the outside of the brakes. Flash of flame as he comes down a couple of gears. But Roach just a little bit slower on the power to stop him getting a run on the way out. This time though, Robinson's got a run and he's almost alongside as they go under the bridge. He's as late as he can be on the brakes, just about get side by side. He'll be looking to sit around the outside here, but Roach says no way and leaves him right out to the outside. And he's got to start it all over again. But if you keep doing stuff like that, you can just hope that the pressure pays off. That said, Michael Roach does look very calm and composed there. Fastest lap is 50.564 to Greenan, who's now leading by 14.6 seconds. So domination for the 2023 Boss Ireland champion. Oh, very close to the S's this time. He had to back out of it there, and down the inside goes Robinson. That's a decisive move. Can he get it stopped? He's way out of shape. He can't. That's good stuff. Connolly tries to get back at him, but Robinson has that one done. That was a cracking move. Robinson now up to third place. Oh, but Roach going to have a go at him then, locks it up and fires it down the inside into turn 1. Doesn't get by on that occasion, but he certainly hasn't given up just yet. So it's Robinson now leading, but he's not easing away just yet. Right out to the outside, but that was a belter of a move. What happened is he was right with him at the S's and looked like, I don't know, the Roach lift or did he just get a run, but he's made a mistake. He's gone wide now and thrown it all away again, but they're both trying so hard. I think they're right on the edge, these two. Roach just straight back to the inside, kept it tight when Robinson went in late on the brakes there, and it's staring at the back of Roach's car again now for Robinson. But that was a cracking move by Robinson, but just came in too hot into the last corner. Let's go back and have a look at that move by Noel Robinson, because it started at the S's, I think. This is Robinson trying to get by Roach. Here we are. So he's got a run. Oh, very close to the S's this time. They're very close there, but he gets back on the power, gets up the inside and just fires it down. Look at the dust. Nobody goes down the inside there. He does. And Connolly tries to get the switchback, the famous Mondello switchback, but it doesn't work because Robinson carries enough speed through the corner and takes the place. Lost it again a lap later, but these two guys having a really good scrap. They were so close at the S's that time round, though. It really was nose cone under the gearbox, but it back in third place now is Michael Roach. And that has allowed Michael Connolly to stretch away from them by 13 seconds while all this is going on. He's got the head down, Connolly, lapping in the 51s and 52s. The guys were out to 53s at one stage there. They're catching another car here. It's Harley Gary Graham again, is it? As they go through Campion. This is Martin Daly being lapped by the leader with 1:14 to go. That's Tony Green, and we haven't seen him for a while because he's just checked out up front. He is the reigning Boss Ireland champion, Northern Ireland visitor here. He was here all last year and went superbly. Really does go very well on this little F3 car. Doesn't have that much racing experience. He did some of the Super Race Sunday stuff up the north, I think, and then took a break and started doing track days in Kyrgyzstan with the Radical. And then I think was persuaded to join the Boss Ireland series, realised the Radical wasn't capable of winning and bought an F3 car. And then super job last year to win the championship. And it's got to be said, looking very, very strong in 2024 as well. So here he comes. Up the final corner, he'll be starting his last lap this time in the ex-Alex Albon car. Mercedes-powered Dallara Formula 3 car, just 2 kilometers for him to go now. Clock at 17 seconds. Really late turn in down at turn 1. Through turn 2 as quick as he can go and out to the outside. That's Gary Graham again, who's already 5 laps down. Going to be 6 now. A little bit of rain on the window of the commentary box there, just as well it's coming now when the race is just about over. It's not heavy, it's just a quick skite of rain, as they'd say down the country. So Green and Connolly, Roach and Robinson, top 4 at the moment. Here's our leader for the last time up the south side. He'd be delighted to see the checkered flag with the rain coming, but it's been a great performance for him. Fastest lap, pole, and the first win of the year in the top line, Connolly's top line Boss Ireland Championship goes to Tony Greenan. He'd be very happy with that one. A really good performance, just giving the crowd a wave as he goes by the grandstand down into turn 1. Here's our second place man, and there's a little bit of rain still coming down. Gary Graham takes the checkered flag there. There's Martin Daly, he's still got a, he's just back 1 lap. Here's our second place finisher, Michael Connolly. That's Faherty going through, I think. Had Max Hart. And that scrap for third place. Roach comes through to take that third place. Very, very well earned, hard earned third place. And Noel Robinson, great race from him too. He briefly managed to snatch that third place, but lost out then a lap later. So great stuff from Boss Ireland. There's our finishing order for the Connolly's Top Line Boss Ireland Championship Race 1. And for in a Boss 2 class is Tony Greenan, smaller engine cars. Then the Boss 1 class is Michael Connolly, second overall. And then Michael Roach in third place. And then let's just do the outright ones first. It's Greenan, Connolly, Roach, Robinson, Daly, Faherty, Max Hart and Gary Graham. So in Boss 2 it's Greenan, Tony Greenan, Michael Roach and Noel Robinson. And in Boss 1 it's Michael Connolly from Martin Daly, just 2 cars in Boss 1. So there you go. So small grid of cars in Boss Ireland, but great entertainment. Let's see who we will have next up. It's Legends out for their second of 3 races of the day. The little motorbike engine Legends will be on track in just a few minutes' time.
Square left onto the
Well, welcome back. Quick word from our sponsors as ever, and this is race 2 of the Legends. And Michael Barrable, who went so well in the last race, got himself a podium on his first weekend in the championship, has starting this one on pole position. Car number 18, Michael Barrable. Alongside him, Anthony Malone. Then it's Lee Malone, Derek Hogan, Scott Jackson, Richard Spence, Willie Lawrence, Evan Curran, Sylvie Bartlett and Owen Lawler. So it's the grid from race 1 completely reversed. Michael Barrable started at the back, came third. Watch out for Owen Lawler. He'll be looking for a good result here. He took a win yesterday, but certainly didn't have any luck in the first race this morning. I can't believe the weather changes we've had here. You can see a few spots around in the camera, but the sun is absolutely blazing down here now again within 5 minutes. So we're getting, as we said, all the seasons, very strong winds still at Mondello Park, but at least we've got a little bit of sunshine now. So Legends on their warm-up lap. Space frame chassis and 1200cc motorbike engines. Don't have too much grip from the tyres. They move around a lot under you. The people that race them absolutely love them. Anyone that gets a go or a spin in them usually loves them as well. All the cars very well presented. POB Racing prepare most of them. They have a workshop in Strafford and they're always rebuilding them, working on them, setting them up, and they always present their cars superbly. Let's have a quick look at the grid here before they get round to the start line. There's our grid. Barrable on pole position from in the MB Motors car. Then it's Anthony Malone, Lee Malone, Derek Hogan. That's the first 2 rows. Scott Jackson, Richard Spence, Willie Lawrence and Evan Curran, row 3 and row 4. Sylvie Bartlett alongside Owen Lawler is row 5. And that is the grid as they come out of Southside Motor Factory's corners, being led by Michael Barrable in the distinctive blue and yellow car, very similar to his Fiesta Zetecs Championship winning livery. He leads them down. Anthony Malone, more experienced on the outside. Somebody trying to get the jump from the middle. Watch out for Derek Hogan in the Pink Panther car. Can Barrable manage to hold it down into turn 1? He'll have to go in really late in the brakes. He can do. Up over that inside curb. Tutored well by Peter Barrable, no doubt. Almost goes around. How he held on to that one, I'll never know. That was a long, long lurid slide. It cost him the lead. Anthony Malone taking it back, but Barrable already glued to his back bumper on the way to turn 3. Thinking about a run around the outside. So Michael Barrable keen to get that one back. But it's actually Lee Malone from row 2 that got the lead there. Barrable sticking right with him through turn 3. Derek Hogan looking for that 3rd place in the background from Anthony Malone. The first 2 making a little bit of a break already as Michael Barrable thinks about a look around the outside into the S's. Gets the car turned in late, should make him quicker on the exit. That's what he's aiming for, and quicker through Nordic Spirit Corner and up the hill. Gets a great run, and he's using all the curb and a little bit more. Barrable, as he tries to hang on to the leader. Everyone having a go behind him. They're all down the inside. That's Derek Hogan having to go. Look at Barrable balancing the car on the throttle. It's a little bit sideways again on the way out there, but hasn't lost much to Malone on this opening lap, first and second. They're about a second ahead of the rest. Going through is Owen Lawler, somebody else in the mix there, Richard Spence mixing it up. Evan Curran there with a big lock up down the outside, but manages to hang on to it. Sylvie Bartlett has a go at him now on the approach to Campion corner. Bartlett in the middle of that one. Leader beginning to get away. Barrable, I think, has the pace probably to pull away from the rest, but certainly Lee Malone with the head down appears to be fractionally quicker than Michael Barrable at this stage. Gap was at 0.392 of a second last time round. I think it's a little bit more now. It's probably around a second. Is that Hogan up to 3rd? Indeed it is. He's having a good weekend. Derek Hogan was, I think he was 3rd in the first race yesterday. He was right in the mix at the top of one of the other races. It got collected by somebody else, race 2 I think it was, and unceremoniously shoveled off. Speaking of which, quick rotation there for, who was that? Evan Curran, that was, just went off. The rookie, he's back going again I think, but there was a big long spin coming into the S's for him. Let's watch the lap times now and see if Derek Hogan can close down Michael Barrable. Malone, Barrable, Malone, the order in this one. Hogan looking quite strong in 3rd place. Fastest lap Malone, a 4.3. 5.3 for Barrable, 5.3 as well for Hogan, so just the same time as Barrable, but they're second off the leader's fastest lap there as Anthony Malone goes sideways. Scott Jackson gets by him, he goes around. All collected by Willie Lawrence, and nothing Willie Lawrence could do there. I can't believe they're both still going. They're strong little cars, aren't they? That was a good smack. But both cars still going, but Willie Lawrence, absolutely innocent bystander, just arriving into the scene of a big spin there. Nobody's fault, but a heavy impact between those two. The Barrable inching away now, I feel, from Derek Hogan as he tries to stabilise that gap at least to the leader. He lost a full second the last time round though, 4.3 as opposed to a 5.35. Hogan having to look at his mirrors now because Anthony Malone is closing him right down, but the first two have definitely made a break as Barable hangs the tail out coming out of Nordic Spirit corner and up towards south side. There's the big lunge down the inside of Hogan for 99, Scott Jackson, and he moves up to third place. Lee Malone this time, let's watch the lap times. 4-4. Oh, 4-4 for Barable as well. I did think he'd pick the skirts up, Michael Barable. He's matched them, that's what I said he'd try and do. He'll try and balance the gap and then he'll try and chip away at it. He's very methodical when he's in the car, Michael Barable. So he stopped the gap growing. It's stayed at 1.5 seconds on that lap now. The order: Lee Malone, Michael Barable, Scott Jackson, Derek Hogan, Sylvie Bartlett, Owen Lawler, Willie Lawrence, Evan Curran and Richard Spence. This could be a quick lap for Scott Jackson, 99. He's definitely getting away from Derek Hogan, I should say. Here's Bartlett coming down into the SS. He's adapted well to these cars. Absolutely loves driving them. That's right on his tail is Owen Lawler. He's coming well up. He's up to 6th place now, Lawler. And the leader beginning to flick the car around. Is Barable closer than he was? There's a big flick into that final corner for Lee Malone. There's always some interesting techniques in these cars. They don't have a diff. They have a solid axle, so you have to somehow get them turned in without that dreaded understeer that comes sometimes. Yeah, again a 4.370 for the leader and a 4.415 for Barable, so just a 10th opening out in the lead. Very little in it between those two. Scott Jackson matching them also on a 4.3. Nobody else in the 4s all the way down the grid, so top 3 are quickest with 3 minutes 14 seconds to go in this one. Just the gap equally spaced. Big long drift again for Barable. He's getting the hang of these cars. Lee Malone goes through. Let's watch the lap time. 4.9 that time around. 4.8. Barable closes it by a 10th. 5.3 for Scott Jackson. He drops back a little bit. So just 2 minutes 20 to go. Barable certainly a little bit closer than he was. Side by side now for Evan Curran and Willie Lawrence. Willie Lawrence's car is still going. As we said, I'm surprised they're strong little cars. A little bit of smoke there from Owen Lawler. Hope everything's okay. He's already had an engine failure this weekend, yesterday morning. So 1:30 on the clock. They come down to start another lap. 5-1, the time's going out for Malone. 5-1 for Barable too. In fact, they're all in the 5s. 5-1 for Derek Hogan as well. There he is, in the Pink Panther. Car number 63, going well this weekend. In fact, a 5-3 for Scott Jackson, so Hogan closing him down just a little bit for that final podium position. Gap still at 1.6 further between the two leaders, so nothing Barable can do. He can stabilize that gap, as we said, but he hasn't been able to close it. So fractionally quicker last time round. 48 seconds to go. I think they will start another lap. Here come the leaders. Malone and Barable. Is Barable's closer? He looks closer this time round. Oh, he's gone very sideways there, very, very sideways there. Not sure he got to the apex, so that will have dropped him back just a little bit. Still match the time. They're both on a 5-2 that time round, but Michael Barable came in very quick into that final corner. Locking a wheel now, beginning to throw the car around a little bit as Michael Barable. I think he thinks he can close this gap. He took big chunks out of the leader, I think, on the lap before this, and then threw it all away at the final corner, but certainly looking more confident now and begin to fire it around. Race 3 will be very interesting here. It's Malone and Barrable, 1.6 was the gap. This is the final lap. The clock is at 0. So a few corners between Malone and victory, but not too far away is that blue and yellow car behind him. He's definitely closer than he was again, Michael Barrable, as he comes back towards the main arena for the last time. Malone could be just balancing this one though. He's very experienced, always goes well. He's been strong all the way through this race. Yeah, Barrable just right on the edge there, isn't he? A little bit of opposite luck again. Watch Barrable's car as he goes right out to the outside here. Yeah, this is where Barrable got it wrong last time. And it's not often Michael Barrable makes a mistake. The leader gets right into the apex. Oh, celebratory drift for him on the way out. Barrable says, anything you can do, I can do better. Both sideways on the run to the line. A fantastic drive and a win for Lee Malone in Legends in race 2. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Barrable 4/10ths quicker on that final lap and brings the gap down. It was at 1.8 at one stage, brings it down to 1.2. All side by side across the line there. We'll go through that in a minute. We get the graphic up and then we will see who's in pro and who's in rookie. Yeah, well, there's your result. A great win for Lee Malone. No mistakes at all the way through that 8 laps and flat out all the way through them, because not far behind was the rookie winner in that one, Michael Barrable, number 18. Then Scott Jackson in 3rd place, 99. Back 5.9 seconds back. Then Derek Hogan, wasn't too far from him in 4th place. Sylvie Barrett, Owen Lawler, Willie Lawrence, Evan Curran, Richard Spence and Anthony Malone. And the rookies in that one were, the winner was Michael Barrable, 2nd place was Sylvie Bartlett, I should say, and in 3rd place Evan Curran. So great stuff from Legends. They have one more race of their 6th race weekend to go. They had 3 yesterday, they've had 2 today, and we've got one more later on. Meanwhile, we'll be back on track in a few minutes' time with the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship Race 2. So, a new sponsor for a new year for 2024, it's the Alloy Repair Centre. They do what it says on the tin. They do diamond cutting and powder coating and restoration of alloys in Cookstown Industrial Estate, just up the N7 from us here at Mondello Park. Owen Cullen, the man there, also owns the Accident Repair Centre for the past 25 years, and very impressive building and premises they have up there. They've come on board this year. But on pole position for this one, absolute star in the first race was Tim McQuaid in the McQuaid Motors car, and Nadina sponsorship on that one, the LOH Motorsport car. Then the Arbelos car of Roy Kane, the wet weather hero. Then it's Chris Grimes Jr., who really had the best, I think that's the best ST race I've seen him drive. I know how quick he is from rallycross, but he really went well this morning. Then Keane O'Brien, 555, always a man to watch out for. Then it is Victor Cullen and Ross Barnes. Then it is Michael Cullen and Trevor Farrar, and John Elliff, Bobby Turley and all the rest. Spoke to Michael Cullen at lunchtime, struggled mightily in race 1, and he said their team are working absolutely flat out to trace it. They don't know what they're looking for really. They're trying corner weights, shocks, everything like that. He said it's just getting massive wheel spin everywhere. They thought it might be a burst shock or something like that. They were trying to trace it down, but of course on a race day you're working against the clock. It'll be interesting to see if they've managed to trace it. LOH Motorsport are as good as anyone else in the paddock, so if they've found the problem, you will see Michael Cullen absolutely on fire, I've no doubt. He's usually very much at the sharp end in this one. We're on board with him, Michael Cullen. Massive CV. I could go on and on. He's a double European Ferrari champion. He's a multiple Mondello Park champion, former Sexton Trophy winner, former Irish Saloon Car champion, former Dunlop Uno Cup winner. He's won so much stuff. He's the reigning champion in this class. He's the reigning champion in Irish Strikers. He won more races in Ireland and the UK than any other driver last year, which gave him that Autosport title. So absolutely loves his motorsport. He's recently started rallying. He's got a historic E30 M3, and he's now having to go in an R5 just to get more stage mileage. So a man that absolutely loves his motorsport. He's as hard as nails on track, and really loving his racing with LOH Motorsport lately. So Tim McQuaid, on the other hand, pretty much a raw novice. Started last year with no experience and was impressive straight away. Made appearances in the top 10, but this morning was certainly his best race, and that puts him on pole position. We reversed the top 6 for these races. That puts Tim McQuaid on pole position. Tim McQuaid is right on his marks, but look where Roy White is. He'll be getting a telling off from Murray Motorsport for that one. He's a good few feet back from where he needs to be lined up. Similarly on row 2, both of them a little bit further back from where they need to be. The red car of Christopher Grimes Jr. and Keane O'Brien alongside him. Then Victor Cullen and Ross Barnes. Then it is Michael Cullen and Trevor Farrar. Darragh McMullen is right at the back. He had some sort of an issue. I think there may have been an exclusion from race 1 and an appeal subsequently, so I'm not sure. But he did win race 1, but he's starting right at the back in this one. So Tim McQuaid going to start on pole position. There's the BMW medical car. Motorsport Rescue Services there as well, and the recovery truck, and away they go. And it's Grimes with the best start from row 2, and he gets down between them both. Tim McQuaid bogs down slightly as they go under the bridge. Let's watch them as they come in. It's Grimes from row 2, an absolute belter, and he gets the lead down the inside. That's a cracker. Didn't even fold in a mirror, and he got it done up the inside. Marcus Hayes, the John Hayes car, is right in the middle of all the action there as they head for Campion Corner. But it is Grimes. It's White. Is that Victor Cullen there? Look at Michael Cullen. That's 555. He's alongside there. We're on board with Michael Cullen. Happy enough to go down the outside here. Will he have a go around Tim McQuaid as well? He will. It's total commitment from Michael Cullen. I did say if the car was going well, we'd expect him to be on fire. And he's got round Keane O'Brien. Certainly, he didn't get around Tim McQuaid though, but that puts him up a place or two. O'Brien having to go back at him. So it's Grimes, it's Roy White, it's in fact from 6th on the grid, it's the danger man, isn't it? It's Ross Barnes in the Barnes Auto House car. Then it's Michael Cullen, Keane O'Brien and Trevor Farrar, I think that is. Victor Cullen up the inside of Farrar. McMullen already passed 5, 6, 7 cars. We'll watch out for him. This is great stuff from Christopher Grimes Jr. Michael Cullen pulling 4th gear. We're on board with him again. Down to 3rd, down to 2nd, closes in on Tim McQuaid. We didn't stay with him for long enough to see if he's getting that wheel spin he was talking about at lunchtime. Certainly struggling for traction in race 1 this morning. He's in 5th place now, but that was more racecraft and pace. Let's see when they spread out a little bit just where he is. Barnes in 2nd place now, having got by Roy White and closing down Grimes. He's right on Grimes' rear bumper at turn 3. Grimes out over the curb. Great stuff from Grimes to take that lead down into turn 1 from the 2nd row of the grid. Just an absolute belter off the line. The auto testers always start well. They're trained in searching for traction, and he matched revs and grip to absolute perfection there to just get a cracking start. He's under big pressure now from Ross Barnes. Will he defend? He will defend. Right to the inside. Barnes goes to the outside. But look at Roy White, who's right in the mix too, and Tim McQuaid. Michael Cullen in there too, but still not just making any impression on them just yet. Then it's O'Brien, then it's McMullen all the way from the back. Ross Barnes trying to get along the outside. He's able to drive up alongside him. He's able to drive ahead of him on the main straight, but Grimes comes back at him on the brakes and just leaves him out there on the exit. This is good stuff from young Grimes as they go through Campion Corner. It's Grimes, Barnes, White, McQuaid, Cullen, Keane O'Brien, Darragh McMullen. Fastest lap is Keane O'Brien at the moment, 107.8. All the rest of them in the 8s. Grimes using the head here. He's backing him up a little bit. He's backing him up a lot. They're all together again all of a sudden. And Keane O'Brien may have fastest lap, but that's irrelevant. Look at the train of Fiesta STs coming back towards the main arena now. It's Christopher Grimes Jr., it's Ross Barnes, it's Roy White, it's Tim McQuaid. Lifting an inside rear wheel is Michael Cullen in the LOH and Beacon Hospital car. Then it's Keane O'Brien McMullen. Keane O'Brien still showing fastest lap as we said. Then it's Victor Cullen and Trevor Farrar. Ross Barnes trying to get up the inside, but controlling it nicely up front is Christopher Grimes Jr. Probably needs to get across to the barrier a little bit quicker than that. He manages to do it. They're very equal in a straight line, these cars, although last time round Barnes managed to drive up alongside. He does it again, just as I say it. He just drives up alongside Grimes. He certainly didn't get a run on him out of the last corner, so let's have a look at the There's not much in it really in terms of the straight line speeds. They're all very similar, which is exactly what we want to see. Once again, here comes Barnes, but Grimes has that one covered, moves to the outside. Double apex right-hander here, a quick tap of the brake and back hard on the power to keep the car steady, and then brake in a straight line down to second, turn in and up the hill. That's the first time he's missed the apex, the leader, and that'll be a smell of blood for Ross Barnes. He'll be looking to get alongside next time around, but goes straight to the inside, does Grimes. Down to second, Cox an inside rear wheel, gets it turned in. A very impressive weekend for him so far for a young Chris Grimes. I thought it was just the wet conditions because he's so good in rallycross, but it's bone dry now and he's not looking rattled at all. And McMullen is up another place in the background. Is that Michael Cullen he's gone by? It is. Michael Cullen just been done by McMullen on the way out of the S's and on the brakes into the final corner. So McMullen up to 5th from the back of the grid now. So it's Grimes, Barnes, Roy White, the super impressive Tim McQuaid, and the charging Darren McMullen, who's the fastest lap now with a 7.3. Oh, Barnes into the quarter panel of the leader. They're gone out of shot. Yeah, that could have sent Grimes around, but coulda, woulda. It didn't. He still leads. That'll have slowed them right down now. I think Barnes probably looking in the mirror and sees some of these guys coming behind him. McMullen all the way from the back. But Grimes not being rattled at all. I'm very impressed with his composure in this one. Look how much he's making them all slow down. There's a big train of cars. Himself and Barnes had made a gap early on, but he's gone into defensive mode now, I feel. Down the inside, second gear here for these cars. Some of them will hold it in third. Inside rear wheel in the air for most of them. And again, Barnes touching his back bumper on the way through the S's. Third gear now certainly, and flat out on the way out of that Nordic Spirit corner. It's Tim McQuaid trying to get a space up the inside of Roy White behind them. I think he's got it done, has he? Oh, he backs out. I think his car's probably too immaculate. He looked like he was going to launch it down the inside. McMullen looking for a bit of space as well as they come out onto the main straight. Barnes sniffing to the inside, but there's no drama at all for young Christopher Grimes Jr. Still 9 minutes to go, but no problem at all here. He goes down the inside, and yet again you can see the front bumper moving on Barnes' car there. Absolutely together, first and second. Barnes already has one win under his belt after the revised result this morning. He'll be looking for another one here, but he's going to have to pull something special out of the bag, because I know we're only halfway through the race, but certainly Christopher Grimes Jr. is not leaving any options open there. Nothing down the inside here. Doesn't mind compromising his speed on the way up the hill, and then straight to the left and just hugs that all the way up the inside. Mondello Park has been referred to as Hairpin City by some people, so it's not that difficult to defend on in terms of compared to some of the UK circuits where they're big long sweeping corners. If you defend on the way into one of them, you're in big trouble. McMullen up the inside of McQuaid, backs out of it there. Cullen has dropped back behind them. Keane O'Brien having to go now. Again, McMullen having a sniff up the inside, but Tim McQuaid, driving like a seasoned pro, even though he's only in his second season, is right there in fourth place on merit. Look at this, Christopher Grimes Jr. Barnes all over, but just cannot find a gap. As Elif goes through, Farrar. McMullen is he motored up his way up through the grid pretty quickly. He's got to the top four, doesn't seem to be able to make any move just yet, but I think keep an eye on that one as Barnes tries to get the nose down the outside. Roy White in third place. And Tim McQuaid and McMullen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars together. It's a good drive for McMullen to come all the way from the back. All the interest at the front in this one. 7 minutes to go, 7.5. There'll be 7.5 long minutes for Christopher Grimes Jr. This could be his coming of age at Mondello Park. We've seen him take loads of wins in rallycross, but not so much in circuit racing. He struggled a little bit in the ST before. He's not struggling at all today. Look at that for a super line down into the S's. Got it turned in beautifully, got on the power. Could have almost got away without block. Easy for me to say that, without blocking that. I mean, he had 3 or 4 lengths as they came out of the S's, but he did decide to defend just at the last minute. But Roy White is beginning to breathe down the neck of Ross Barnes too, with the Cartel.ie machine. So great stuff from the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship. Oh, and a big lunge again for Ross Barnes. McMullen looking for a gap on the outside, but Tim McQuaid not leaving any gap either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together. A gap back to Victor Cullen, who's 2 seconds behind them. Victor Cullen getting ahead of Michael there. See it on the timing screen because you wouldn't see it on the track. The cars are far too alike. I once said to Michael, any chance you could put something on the car so I could identify them? And he said, no, absolutely not. So Victor Cullen has got ahead of Michael there. I thought Michael was going to do a Williams Grand Prix engineering at lunchtime and commandeer the chassis of Victor's car, but he didn't. So Victor's got ahead up to 6th place. Michael Cullen down to 7th. Bad day for the reigning champion at the office. But Michael's clever. He'll use this to take some points home with him, because once that car's back running correctly, he'll be winning again. He'll need every point he got today to try and defend his championship. Ross Barnes very confident in the run up to this championship about his chances. He's got this car, the ex-Graham McDonald championship winning car. He loves it. He's very much at home in it, and he's very quick. So he's been up to Kyrgyzstan testing already. He's done a couple of test days down here, and it's obviously suiting him. He's probably potentially the quickest man here, but he can't get by Grimes, who's driving absolutely beautifully there. Frustration not creeping in just yet. I thought it might, but it looked like he was going to give him a little bit of help there. Victor easing away from Michael now. Michael out into the 108 bracket. Victor down to a 7-8, 8 dead last time round. Top 4 all in the 7s. Top 5 I should say, last time round. Oh, a little bit wide, didn't get to the apex there for Grimes, but he manages to carry the speed around. The next one's a left-hander, he should be absolutely fine. I don't think Barnes is going to get around the outside of him here. He's going to have a go though. It's actually quite a long left-hander. It's very rare somebody will get around the outside there. But he does tuck in behind him again, and once again Grimes just doesn't look rattled at all. Right out to the outside, 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. He goes to the inside, late on the brakes. Barnes thinks about getting up the inside of him, but Grimes not so quick to get on the power, perhaps on the way out, not leaving any gap up the inside. He really is using his head here, this young man. I don't see any sponsorship on that car. I'm sure we will after this race, because he really is impressing us. Christopher Grimes Jr. on the run down to turn 1. Barnes with a big lunge, but it's just, he's got that covered. No problem at all, but straight into his back bumper now. That was definitely a little bit of a shove from Ross Barnes. That did send the red car a little bit wide on the way out, but again, Grimes just stands on the throttle and picks it all up. He places the car well. He's not leaving any gaps up the inside on the way out. Barnes gets a run on the way out of turn 1 and carries it through turn 2, gets on the outside, but he knows if he sits around the outside there that Roy White will be down the inside like a flash. Gets alongside again here. He's getting slightly better runs out of the corner than Chris Grimes Jr. The tyres will be going off a little bit at this stage on all these cars. The Nankangs will be having a rough time of it in 15 minutes of hard racing in dry conditions like this. Christopher Grimes Jr. still leads. A great race, this one, for the opening or the second Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship race of the weekend. 3 minutes 40 to go, so still a few more laps. And the change there, McMullen has got by Tim McQuaid. So McMullen now up to 4th place, and he's now chasing down Roy White, and once again just easing across to the inside. I don't think so, Ross, he says. Ross Barnes, will he manage to motor up alongside him again? He does. He just drives up there, doesn't he? And past him. Can he get it stopped? He can't. I don't think. Grimes back down the inside. They've both gone really wide, and here comes Roy White at 3 abreast for turn 2. What's going to happen? I think Barnes has got through, but he's up over the inside curve. There's contact once again. Grimes sits around the outside, keeps it pinned. He's got it back. I can't believe he's held on to the lead there. This is great stuff from Grimes, and Ross Barnes having a real go, but this could be NASCAR stuff. He could get stuck on the outside if Roy comes down the inside. Roy's being very polite, isn't he? Or is he? He gets right into the apex. He looks for the run on the way up the hill, and I think Roy White may have got 2nd place here. 3rd gear charging back towards us. 2 minutes 50 to go. This is a belter of a race, and turning to the left-hander comes Christopher Grimes Jr. now again, but we're back as we were. McMullen now looking to have a go at Roy White. I thought Roy White would have got up the inside there all the way down into turn 3. Here comes Grimes, centre of the road. Barnes thinks about a look down the inside, but Grimes, at this stage, I think has seen it all before. Here's where he's got to watch out. Barnes' car looks a little bit quicker in a straight line, and it's not up to here, it looks okay, but once they get going here, I don't know if Grimes is a problem or whatever, but he pulls out and gets alongside, and he actually got ahead the last time. Tries it again, then a big lunge down the inside. They stay apart, thankfully. Great race, though. Michael Cullen dropping back again, down to P13 now. He's going very slowly in a straight line. There's a problem with that car. Christopher Grimes Sr., that's Christopher Grimes Jr.'s dad, obviously, is side by side with Michael Cullen on the main straight. 1 minute 57 to go. We're very near at the closing stages of this one. This is what Grimes has got to be careful of. If he keeps the head down and pulls away and brings Barnes with him, Barnes doesn't have to look at the mirror. Backing them up made it much easier for him. But Ross Barnes is experienced, he's quick. He'll start moving around now. If he hasn't got any way of defending, he'll start having to look down the outside and looking for switchbacks to the inside, where he's not keen to do that when Roy White's on his bumper, because he knows if he gets stuck on the outside, Roy White will get down the inside and he'll lose that 2nd place. Here they come now, up towards Southside Motor Factory's corner one more time. Up over that inside curb, and once again, Grimes just comes out of there perfectly. No gap up the inside at all, gets on the power, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, McMullen gets a run though. Oh, McMullen just drives up alongside Roy White there. And I think he's going to take that place, is he? White will surely try and come back at him on the brakes. He does. Back down the inside. I don't think so, says Roy. Down to second gear. They give each other a little bit of racing room, thankfully. McMullen almost had that one, but Roy White's so late on the brakes down into turn one. No way, I want a podium. I've seen the trophies today. Big glass trophies for the Alloy Wheel Repair Centre. Or the Alloy Repair Centre, I should say, Championship this year, and he wants one of them. Christopher Grimes Jr., Ross Barnes, and Roy White now with 42 seconds on the clock. I think they'll probably get another lap after this one. So this is great stuff. Not sure if Grimes should be trying to get away. Is he trying to get away? Certainly himself and Ross Barnes are pulling away just a little bit, but that could be just as a result of the McMullen attack on Roy White. They come right into the outside. This is where Barnes could have gone high and wide and tried to get a better run on the way out, but he doesn't. They haven't got anyone near them. Certainly the leader's got enough here. Second gear, third gear, no problem. Gets back into the all-important inside line. Then Barnes pulls out here, and as they come under the bridge, he's up alongside him and he's ahead of him again. Barnes with a significant advantage there from the start-finish line onwards, but Grimes just doesn't let it happen. Cool as a cucumber out front. The clock is at 0. This is the final lap, less than 2 kilometres to go. A little bit of hopping around. There's Michael Cullen going very slowly in the foreground there. Obviously in big trouble. He's back to 17th position. No points for Michael Cullen today. Here they come down through the double apex right-hander for the last time. This could be a big day for Christopher Grimes Jr. Carries the speed beautifully as he's done all the way through. Coming back towards the main arena now. Ross Barnes has tried absolutely everything here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s together. One make racing at its absolute best here. It's been a great drive by McMullen too, all the way through from the back. But I think the star drive here, if he can get it through the final corner, is Christopher Grimes Jr. He should be safe because Barnes only has that extra bit of straight line speed really from the start finish line onwards as McMullen takes a lunge, but I think he's done enough. It's going to be incredible stuff. A lot of cheering on the pit wall, and it is going to be Christopher Grimes Jr. to take a fantastic win in Fiesta STs. That is absolutely brilliant. All of them together. McQuaid having a go at McMullen to take that place back across the line. Victor Cullen with a good run there towards the end of that race. Personal best from Tim McQuaid at 7.7 on the run across the line. Well, that was absolutely fantastic, and I think certainly Christopher Grimes Jr., my driver of the day so far today at Mondello Park. He soaked up all the pressure. That was a drive of a true champion there. Really good stuff. Let's have a look at the graphics. We'll have a look at our result. Here we go. There we go. Christopher Grimes Jr. takes the win from the start. He led all the way through that one. Ross Barnes, good drive from 6th to 2nd. Roy White, we thought he was just a wet weather expert. Not so. Good performance on the drive from Roy White in the Murray Motorsport car from all the way at the back, and it's a big grid. Darragh McMullen in 4th place. Then Tim McQuaid continues to impress in 5th. Victor Cullen, good drive to 6th place. Cian O'Brien in 7th. Trevor Farrar 8th. Wayne Laverick 9th. And John Elliff in 10th place in his brand new, newly built car. So great stuff from the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs. They'll be having their 2 podium presentations now after they get out of scrutiny and technical eligibility checks. So absolutely fantastic stuff, great entertainment, and makes good television for us. Well done, Christopher Grimes Jr. And just before the future classics come out onto the grid, let's have a quick commercial break. So back straight into another race, Precision Graphics Future Classics Championship Race 2, their second race of the season and second race of the weekend. And on pole position for this one will be Patrick O'Malley in the 2-litre Honda Civic. Then alongside him, Luke Marmion in the Toyota Celica, and Connor McAmeal in the Civic, Gary Bradley in another Honda Civic, Aidan Byrne, who entertained in the first race in the black 306 Peugeot, then James Marmion in yet another Civic, Celica, I should say. Ray Melia also in a Celica, and it says Paul Flanagan, but maybe Paul's in that Celica. Let's see what the number as it goes by. I suspect he might be. Then in the future class, the slightly slower class, Jack Conaghy, Philip Lawless, Noel Conaghy, and Aoife Brady would be the top 4 there. There we are. So that's the future class, the slower class we're looking at there. Then Noel Conaghy and Aoife Brady. Then Alan Sweetman in the Mini, Ben O'Malley also in a Mini. John Linan in the Punto, Conlon Quinlan, Tristan Adam and Aaron Linan in the little Fiesta Zetec. And Christopher Lee in that black Punto just coming out of the pit lane now. Used to be my car many years ago. Big lock up for him going down towards turn 1. So barrier times there on your screen. If you break those, you get a 10-second penalty, and if you break it twice, you get another 10-second penalty. So Super Future, the main class, 106.5. They've knocked half a second off that since last year. And Future Classics, 109.0. Slower class, 109.0. Away they go. Civic it is from the pole position. Patrick O'Malley just gets away. Heading down towards turn 1. Great grid of these cars coming towards us. It's all about the Civics out front. It's O'Malley ahead of McElmail there as they head up towards south side. Slight gap back to Marmion. Then it's Bradley, Byrne, Marmion again, and the slower class coming towards us. A lot of Celicas on the grid, aren't there, this time round? Aoife Brady having a look on the outside. Elmeal trying to get by on big, and very defensive stuff there from O'Malley coming out of turn 1. Elmeal having to touch the brakes on the exit, looking to get by here, but in a straight line certainly there's not much in it. They're both plenty quick. 2-litre EP3, just ahead of the 1.8 coupe behind to the first Apex. Slowing right down for the second one. Up the hill then hard on the power again. Taking back towards us side by side. Sideways and off on the outside goes the leader. Back end got away, held on to well, and the new leader goes off. What's going on down there? They've both been off down there, but they come back up in the same position they were in. So both of the leaders off at turn 3. O'Malley with the back end getting away out onto the turf on the outside, and Conor McElmeal, I think, was so surprised that he went off on the exit and they re-swapped places. But that certainly has allowed the first 2 to turn into the first 3 now as they come up there. I think that's Marmion right with them. The braking zone into Southside. It was 2 cars to the lead. It's 3 now. 2 Hondas and the Celica. Certainly the Honda's capable of motoring away from that Celica by 5, 6, 7 lengths as they come out onto the main straight. Luke Marmion, that is. I don't know where he's making it up, but the Honda's a lot quicker in a straight line. 137 for O'Malley through the speed trap. 139 for McElmeal, and 130 for Gary Bradley. It's showing Marmion, I think, is a problem with the transponder perhaps for Luke Marmion, because he's dropped right back. He was shown in 3rd place, but now he's gone back down. Let's just have a look at this. Penalty time, barrier time broken, that's what it is, 777. So Luke Marmion did a fastest lap that's under the barrier time at 106.401. That's given him a 10-second penalty. Off goes McElmeal again on the outside. Off camber corner, easy enough for it to happen. Gets back on again. Just kept it pinned and pulled it back on there, didn't he? Number 64, but that's allowed the leader way out in front. 477 Patrick O'Malley. So Gary Bradley not too far away from that 3rd place now. So come up to the final corner and out onto the straight. It's O'Malley. There's Marmion on the road, but he's got a penalty, you see there on the left-hand side. It's the fastest lap of the race includes that penalty. Marmion running on the road at 3rd place, but well, it's 2nd actually, but he has got that penalty, which dropped him back down the grid. McElmeal already up all over the back of that Toyota. No pit signals, no pit boards allowed in this class, and no lap timers allowed in the cars. So the idea being that you tune your car to go somewhere around the barrier time and then push as hard as you can. But they've got to work it all out themselves. McElmeal back up to 2nd place. He'll probably have to watch his lap time here. He's gone straight by that Celica and now chasing down the EP3 Civic, the newer Civic, right with him and having to go on the brakes already into the final corner as they come out of Southside now. Here he comes, he's right in the wheel tracks of O'Malley. Goes by fastest lap 105.582. That's a full second under the lap time. That's a 10-second penalty for him. And McElmeal just came back too strongly, I think, in that 2nd place, but that's going to drop him way back. He's having to go at turn 2 now, Campion corner. So the 2 Civics again beginning to ease away, but certainly O'Malley's being calmer here, and McElmeal has earned himself a penalty that sees him drop well down. Seems down to somewhere like 5th place. 10-second penalty for him. So still scrapping away mightily up front here, but the leader hasn't got any. Oh, he has, just the last time round. So it's now Gary Bradley leading from James Marmion. So the two scrapping Civics have both earned themselves a penalty. They go by there and briefly showing the lead, but that'll change as those barrier times kick in, or the penalty times kick in. But the two Civics having a real go here up front. A little bit of contact on the exit of turn 1 there. O'Malley just getting a little bit of help from McElmeal, showing back in 6th place now. Barrier time penalties applied to 64, 777 and 477. It's Patrick O'Malley, Luke Marmion and Conor McElmeal, who's had 2 penalties. He's back down in 9th place, whereas O'Malley's still showing in 4th place. We've seen before that you can still take a top result having got a penalty. You keep the head down, because you'll be naturally quicker than the cars behind, and the longer the race goes on, the more chance you have of stretching enough away for them to negate the 10-second gap, the 10-second penalty, I should say. McElmeal looking down the inside. O'Malley closes the door again. Tries to get up the inside on the way out. Drag race between the two Civics here, very little in it. O'Malley's just squeezing the door shut, but I think that Civic's already there. Indeed it is. He's going to lose the lead on the road, of course, this time, and McElmeal down the inside. In fact, they've broken the time again, both of them. 6-1 and a 6-1. That's another 10 seconds each. So there's a little bit of miscalculation here. Heading out towards turn 3. So Gary Bradley leading this one, the Wexford Motor Club man. Hasn't broken the barrier time yet. And Aidan Byrne in 2nd place in the Peugeot as the two guys get sideways and out of shape again out of turn 3. Then it's Marmion, Patrick O'Malley, James Marmion, Patrick O'Malley, Luke Marmion, Ray Melia, then McElmeal, then Jack Conaghy leading the future class from Noel Conaghy and Phil Lawless and Aoife Brady, and they're all running together. There's our leader, that's Gary Bradley, once the penalties have applied. Good scraps in the future class as well. So there's our leader in the future class, headlights on. That's the birthday boy, that's Jack Conaghy. Then Noel Conaghy, his dad, and he's under pressure from Phil Lawless, and closing the boat down is the Atlas Autocar car of Aoife Brady. So good battles in that one. Then Paul Flanagan, he's in a super future, but that's the top future cars. So Aoife Brady 10th overall and 4th in future at the moment, I think, just behind. That's Phil Lawless, well known to us here at Mondello Park in the Civic Coupe, and he's trying to get by Noel Conaghy in the Mini Cooper. So as they head out through Campion Corner. But Jack Conaghy, the birthday boy, just ahead of his dad in 2nd place. And then Lawless trying to have a go on the big winged Civic there. This would be for 2nd place in the future class. Up the hill, pretty much similar performance in both of these cars. 1.6 Mini, quick enough to hold off that Civic on the run to the S's. Phil Lawless never afraid to try an alternative line around the outside or wherever he can see it, but they are being closed down by Aoife Brady now in the Atlas Auto Service car. Here's Jack Conaghy, here comes Noel Conaghy, and here comes Lawless all over the back of him. Lawless goes to the inside to make him defend, then back to the outside. He should be quicker on the way out. Tries to get up the inside, but there's nothing in it in a straight line. But definitely Aoife a little bit closer this time around, the third of these cars. She's trying to get a run up to the boat, and I think Lawless is going to keep the shoe in here under the bridge. Will he get down the inside? That's certainly what he's trying to do. He is later on the brakes. He gets it done. Down the inside, splits the Conaghys, moves himself up to 2nd place, and Aoife Brady now right with them. She's a couple of tenths quicker around that lap. Conaghy tries to go back at Lawless side by side on the way to turn 3, but he's got to watch his mirrors now because Aoife right with them. This battle 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the slightly slower future class. She gets alongside on the run up to the S's. Noel Conaghy under Civic attack now, one in front and one behind. And the little mini through the S's. It's 2 minutes 13 to go on this one. There's Jack Conaghy with the headlights on. Lawless in second. Noel Conaghy in third. Aoife Brady in fourth. It's a good battle between these three as they round Southside Motor Factor's corner. Just 2 minutes to go, so coming to the closing stages of this one. Down into turn one, Lawless beginning to take a full racing line and not defend. Gary Bradley still leading overall, but this is where the action is in this one. Just 3 penalties in this one to bar the barrier times applied to number 64, 777 and 477. So that's Luke Marmion, Patrick O'Malley and Conor McElmill. Here's Bradley still leading. He'd be delighted with this one, the Wexford Motor Club man in the Ignite car. If he can keep this going to the checkered flag, probably not aware that he's in the lead of this. No pit lane signals allowed, of course. Here's that little RX-7 we were talking about earlier. Absolutely beautiful, very unique little car. We haven't seen it before here at Mondello Park. Leader bearing down on it at turn 3. Tristan Adam, he stays well out of the way and allows the leader to go through. The Civic gets past the little Mazda and away up the hill, back towards the main arena. 40 seconds to go. I think you'd probably get another lap after this one. Through the back of the pits, Nordic Spirit corner, right out to the outside, Gary Bradley, and very much involved in the Wexford Motor Club Youth Academy. It really is a cutting edge initiative by the Wexford Motor Club. Right out to the outside, just balancing the car well, grabbing third gear. You can see it bounce a little bit, probably a car with rally origins. Looks a little bit soft for Mondello Park, but it's doing everything to perfection now, and he hasn't made any mistakes at all. Wide out every inch of the track to the outside, a nice late turn in, gets into the apex. No understeer on the way out there. It's all going nicely. This is it, the final lap. That's our leader for the last time. Past the hole in the hedge where they use for rallycross. Through the first apex, down to second gear for the second one for the last time by the Infinite Energy signs and the beacon signs. Infinite Energy, the title sponsor, of course, of the ICCR for 2024, and the Beacon Hospital, once again the main sponsor of our live stream here on the Sunday of every ICCR meeting at Mondello Park. So here he comes up the hill for the final time. A great feeling for any driver waiting to see the checkered flag. Third gear, hard on the brakes, down to second. The checkered flag is being prepared below us, and here he comes out of the final corner. Gary Bradley takes the checkered flag and his first win in Future Classics. Fantastic stuff. Hayden Byrne not too far away there, behind him in the 306. So let's wait till the computer does its thing and we'll have the results up there in a minute's time. So great, good grid of precision graphics Future Classic cars there as they come down to the grid. And Aoife Brady's done it. She's got up to third place. Somehow got by Noel Conaghy on the last lap. So great stuff. That's Jack Conaghy takes the win in Future Classics then, and Philip Lawless takes second place, and Aoife Brady takes third place in the Atlas Auto Service car. So fantastic stuff. Noel Conaghy just shadowing her home across the line, but double win for Jack Conaghy on his birthday. So good stuff. So as soon as the cars cross the line, we'll have the graphic up with all the results. There we go. So Gary Bradley takes the win in the 1.6 Civic. Luke Marmion in second place in the 1.8 Celica. Then it's Aidan Byrne in the 306. James Marmion in the Celica. Ray Mealy in a similar 1.8 Celica. And then the Future Classics cars, Jack Conaghy takes the win there in the 1600 Cooper. Phil Lawless in the 1600 Civic, and Aoife Brady on the podium again in the Honda Civic 1600. And it's Noel Conaghy and Patrick O'Malley. Great stuff from Precision Graphics Future Classic Championship. So next up will be the, with the same title sponsor, will be the ITCC, the Irish Touring Cars, for their second race of the day. So Irish touring cars back out there, really quick, highly modified saloon car. It's been a popular class the last few years. There's a bit of a rebuild on at the minute. Jay O'Reilly and a few others. So a lot of guys putting the effort in, new cars coming back out, a lot of rebuilds. They're highly tuned, stressed cars. They give a little bit of bother, and they're all helping each other out. It's a very busy WhatsApp chat, building it back up. Jay O'Reilly is the sponsor, but he's also the man that pushes them all to get their cars back out. He's going to be getting his car out very shortly. I've said it live on TV, so he's no choice. So Jay's beautiful Honda Civic will be back on the grid shortly. There's our grid, Stuart Curran on pole. Alongside him it's going to be Owen Drought, who's struggling a little bit with the golf today in the Owen Drought car sales car. Then it's Rob Savage and Cian Walsh, they're potentially the two quickest cars out there. Then it's Michael Clune and Ryan Stryker. Then Ian Stryker, David Flynn, Stephen Martin and Colin Morris. I don't think Colin Morris is out there. He's not out there. He's a drive shaft or gearbox problem, I think it was. Watch out for the golf. If Owen Drought hooks it up, he tends to get great starts in this golf. It wasn't so good this morning, but he's had terrible trouble with the car all day. No doubt Niamh and the whole hospital, I believe, are listening to us down there in Cork and watching. They'll be screaming for Owen Drought. He makes a good start, but he's matched by the Integra. He's got the nose ahead. There's a lot of wheels in the moment. There he goes. As they say in Formula 1, the second phase of the start, the golf got it done. And it's not often you see anything other than a Honda leading in Irish touring cars, but Owen Drought's got it done, and he gets down to turn one in the lead and cleanly out of turn one. Somebody backwards, Michael Clune off again. That's 3 times today. I think it's his first time out in this car. Hopefully he can get that out of the gravel. Hopefully says Owen Drought, because he's 2 or 3 lengths clear, but the speed of these two cars behind, I think the golf is going to need a little bit more development before it can hang on to them. The only thing, Owen says it's very, very strong in a straight line. It's perhaps, there you go, see missing an apex. It's just not that good around the twiddly bits. Cian Walsh gets alongside, but the golf has plenty of poke, but I think that place is gone. The lead is gone already, is it? Has a look back down the inside, but no, that's it. It should be okay on the main straight, but watch it coming through the second bit of the S. As I was standing at the railing there watching this morning, it just looked a little bit uncomfortable through there. There it is again. It just doesn't look composed through there at all, and he's under big pressure now for second place already from the championship winning car last year from Rob Savage. And once again, the Honda's just better through the twisty bits. The Golf gets lined up though, and we know that Honda has huge power. Let's see if we can get alongside the Golf. No, there's no problem at all in a straight line for Owen Drought. It's just cornering ability. It's just not there yet. It's a little bit unwieldy looking. It looks very high, and a little bit of body roll. There it is again. A little bit too much lock. A bit of understeer there at turn one. And in fact, Savage having to touch the brakes behind him through Campion corner there. So I think that car needs a bit of extensive testing, but certainly he's up against 2 really quick drivers and 2 really well sorted cars. Cian Walsh's car, if you stand on the pit wall when that car goes by, it sounds really impressive stuff. Just throaty and plenty of power. So it's Walsh, Drought, Savage, Flynn, Curran, Ian Stryker, Ryan Stryker, Stephen Martin and Michael Clune at the end of that opening lap. So there'll be a long race for him now with 13 minutes to run if he's going to try and hold these guys back, but he would love a podium position. Not sure though. The Civic, that Accord is very, very well sorted. Drought to the inside, Savage to the outside. Cian Walsh beginning to ease away. Oh, Drought covers it nicely though on the inside. He can park the car at the apex. They just can't get him on the straight. It's interesting that Rob Savage pulls out. He's expecting to just drive by that Golf on the main straight, but it doesn't happen, does it? It's around here where Owen's in trouble. Sharper corners. There it is. It's just he's in the way there. He gets on the power and gets away. He did race an Integra before, and the Integra, much better handling car. But he did have this Golf. Thought he had it half sorted at one stage last year. It was 61s or 60s, but certainly nowhere near that now. But then the guys that did 59s this morning, fastest lap at the moment, 102.1. So there again, can't get into that apex at all. That just leaves him a sitting duck on the way up the hill. The big power of the Golf though pulls him clear. But certainly, it's just he should be able to get into that apex. He's not even on the tires; can't be overheated yet. Only on the second lap of the race. And again, big lift through the second bit of the S. The car just not comfortable there at all. He has to go to the inside to defend. Savage has to go to the outside. Once again, Owen Drought just slows them right down at the apex, off the brakes, stands on the bar. Now he has left a gap up the inside this time, but again, Golf is plenty strong in a straight line. Look, have a go if you want, Rob. Didn't think so. Just blast ahead of him there going by. And he is fastest through the speed trap, 165 kilometers an hour. 156 for the leader, so he's way quicker than Cian Walsh in a straight line even. But they're beginning to queue up behind him, and I think in fact that's David Flynn. He didn't quite do it, but he could have done it there at turn 2 up the inside, backed out of it at the last minute. So Owen Drought giving us the excitement here in the Owen Drought car sales car in second place. 3.1 seconds up the road as our leader, but again, look at that, nowhere near an apex. Still does carry speed around the outside and gets a wheel cocked, but something, I don't know what it is with that car down into the S's here, but the Honda's not going to get around the outside there. Owen's been around Mondello many times. He knows what he's got to do here, whether he can keep the front tyres in any sort of an operating window for the rest of the race. He's very slow out of the S's now, holds the inside line. What Savage is probably going to have to do is to hang back and get a run on him through the S's, and then try and get alongside on the way up to the final corner, because look at this, he's pretty much done it here, but that's if the Golf will surely come back at him. They're neck and neck now as they go into the bridge. No, this time the Honda had enough speed. I don't know, did he carry more out or what happened? That's interesting now. Trout showing quicker through the speed trap, but I don't think he could have been there. Oh, they've caught Michael Clune. They've had to slow right down there in the CRX. Past him on the exit of Campion Corner, but already the Accord beginning to sprint away, so it's going to be Flynn next up, try and get by Drought. David Flynn in the touring class. So it's Walsh, Savage, Drought, Flynn, Ian Stryker, Stuart Curran, Stephen Martin, Ryan Stryker and Michael Clune. Down into the S's again, and Owen Drought looking a little more comfortable with the car. I think maybe he was over defending there, because David Flynn not crowding him certainly as much as the others did, but the lap times there, Owen Drought's got down to a 61.4 and a 60.9 is the fastest lap of the race, so he's only half a second off. When they were following him, he looked like he was way off the pace they were doing, but certainly but he doesn't have to defend. Just as I say it, I might have jinxed him, because Flynn is beginning to crowd him now in that Integra, and that's a real giant killing machine. We saw it last year, we saw it again this morning. Great stuff. Walsh, Savage and Drought. 61.2 for Cian Walsh last time round, 61.6 for Owen Drought. David Flynn though, 61.1. And Savage, fastest lap of the race, 60.866. Rob Savage, as he tries to chase down the leader. Now up the outside of Drought into Southside Motor Factory's corner, tries to get up the inside. And Rob Savage is catching the leader, make no mistake. Fastest lap again, 60.3, 6/10 closer again. Drought once again manages to outdrag the Integra in a straight line. Flynn goes back to the outside. Drought covering the inside. Oh, locks a brake. Just does look like a handful, doesn't it? It seems when he's on his own, maybe he's just over defending. He's long as only can get a reasonable time out of it, but it just doesn't look as user-friendly perhaps as some of the Hondas. The battle is going to light up the road from them, because certainly Rob Savage is hauling in the leader now. So while Trout fights off Flynn, there's a big battle for the lead up front. Here they come, and Rob Savage has tracked down Cian Walsh now. Walsh holds the centre of the road. A big lock-up from Savage in the big Honda Accord. Great exit there from Cian Walsh, real clean exit, gets him a length or two back there. Gap is 0.8, it's going to be about the same, I think this time, is it? Yeah, 0.8 again. Both in the low 60s, 60.2 for 3 for the leader, 60.2 for Savage. 61.8 for Owen Drought, 62 dead for David Flynn, 63.5 for Ian Stryker, 64.8 for Steve Martin. Michael Clune being lapped again by the flying Cian Walsh. He's suddenly extending that gap now. Out of turn 3. Is he flashing his lights as he comes back towards us? It's just the sunlight. There's a bit of smoke, there's a lot of smoke in the back of that Accord. I wonder, is that a rear wheel locking, or is it something more sinister? Let's hope it's a brake locking. But a lot of smoke coming into the S's there from the Campbell Motorsport car. And a minute 0.6, so 3/10 clear again with 4.5 minutes to go. Here comes Owen Drought, centre of the road again. Doesn't need to block, but just to be sure, he's right down the inside there. Oh, sideways stuff from David Flynn as he fires it in. That'll just slow him down a little bit. Owen Drought can take his first breath for about 3 laps outside. He'd love a podium with this car. He had a terrible luck with it last year. Massive engine blow up and rebuilt all over the winter. Took a long time and a few quid. So, but there again, just so wide. Not getting that car into the apex. It's definitely going to need a little bit of testing. Well, certainly, it's very, very quick in a straight. As quick as anything in a straight line. In fact, I think it had the fastest speed through the speed trap. It does. It's coming up here. Owen Drought, fastest time through the speed. Fastest speed through the trap, 167 kilometers an hour. There's nobody else near that, so it's very, very quick, but it's just not nice at all through the corners. Cian Walsh has woken up. Oh, he's in the 59s. He's in the 59s, 59.970. See you later, Rob. 2.6 seconds down the road. So I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden as Rob was catching him, Cian Walsh let him get right up to his bumper, then just opened the taps. And under the magic minute, there it is, Honda Civic EP3 Type R, 2.4, 59.790. If you get any saloon car under the minute in Mondello, you're motoring pretty well. With just 3 minutes to go in this one. Once again, Owen Drought. You should get a taxi over to the Apex. It's lovely there this time of year. Coming back towards the main arena now, the little golf. Flynn still trying really hard though in the interior. That's not over just yet. For the final podium position, Walsh, Savage, Drought and Flynn right with him as the leader comes towards us again. Blue flags there for somebody. Yet again, Drought defending down into turn 1. By Michael Clune, who's very experienced, stays well out of the way. First day out in that car, I'd say they're just developing it. 2 minutes still to run in this one. Flynn now in a late race effort to wrest that third place away. I think if Drought could just stay there or thereabouts, he should be okay in the drag race to the flag, shouldn't he? Flynn's got the run up the inside. Yeah, it's way quicker in a straight line. There's no shortage of horsepower in that Golf. 51 seconds to go. Well, Savage has got back up there again. He's in the 59s now in the battle for the lead, and he's right back with him again. This is good stuff from both of them. It's a slower lap for Walsh that time, a 1:01. And at the same time as he does that, Savage puts the hammer down, 59.8. And he had the gap at 1.4. It's nothing like that now. 59.4, new fastest lap for Savage. Down the outside, locks the back. We spoke about it earlier. Does he go round? Director just decided to cut away at the perfect moment there. We were just going to look for something else. Well, we might go back and have a look at that one. The back end broke away. Almost looked like he pulled the handbrake there. Did well to eventually get it back, but it was way out of shape. And I think that's decided the race here. That's Cian Walsh. Is Savage still going? This is it. We're on the last lap. It's a bit of a guessing game. I can see in the background that Trout is still ahead. Yeah, Savage is still going. So the golf hasn't got up to him yet. Some great entertainment from the Precision Graphics ITCC, the Irish Touring Cars. Clune going through there, and Steve Martin going through, but there is Cian Walsh. He's driven superbly, a fastest lap of 59.7. Not the fastest lap of the race, but still within a flash of it. Comes down, hand out the window to take the win. Great stuff from Cian Walsh to take the Irish Touring Car win in race number 2. Rob Savage giving us all the entertainment, coming from well back and having to really fight for that when he cruises across the line. And the drag race of the line, no prizes for the winner of this one. It's going to be Owen Trout to hang on for 3rd place. For Niamh and all the nurses in the hospital in Cork, they take a podium finish just ahead of David Flynn. Ian Stryker next up. Flynn takes the Touring Championship from Ian Stryker, and it's going to be Stephen Martin then, I think, as they come back towards us. Yeah, they're just coming to the final corner now. Here's Ian Stryker, beautifully turned out car, that Integra. I was talking to Jay O'Reilly from Precision Graphics at lunchtime. He reckons there's 4 or 5 more cars that'll be out the next round. So add a little bit more entertainment. There he goes, blasts across the line to take 2nd in the touring class. And then the beautifully turned out Tire Brigade car of Steve Martin. DX Cathal Ward car comes down and across the line to take 3rd in touring. So there you are, Irish Touring Cars all finished crossing the line. Cian Walsh takes the win. Great drive in the 2.4 EP3 Civic. Rob Savage a charging drive and giving us all the entertainment in the Honda Accord 2.4. Owen Trout's Golf, which looks like it might be more suited to drag racing than circuit racing. He hangs on to take 3rd place. And then a great drive by David Flynn to just miss out on that 3rd overall, but he takes the touring win from Ian Stryker in 2nd and Stephen Martin in 3rd. Then it's Ryan Stryker and Michael Clune in that new Honda CRX that I'm sure we will see going quicker and quicker as it progresses. He was doing 112s this morning, then 110s. He's down to the 108s now, and I'm sure that will continue to improve. So great stuff from the Precision Graphics ITCC. Oh, next up in a few minutes' time, in fact, they're being released already. The SEAT Supercups are coming out of assembly, I think. Yes, they are. So the grid for race 2 in the SEAT Supercup. Have a look at it now when the graphic comes up. So it's Dave Maguire, the ultra experienced Dave Maguire, going to start on pole position. Paul O'Brien alongside him. And Paul O'Brien coming back after a long layoff. He's a little bit rusty. He was telling me he just needs some laps in the car. Then Stephen Wright, the rally man, plenty of pace. Brian Berry, always up for the scrap of the Murray Motorsport car in row 2. Then row 3, it's Barry English, ex-Oval racer, and Paul Parr, another man that I think might have come from the Ovals, raced supercars for a while here before coming into these Zetecs, and is going superbly, and that car looks fantastic. Then it's Eddie Peterson. Now, what do we need to say about Eddie? He's a multiple winner in this class. He's a former champion of Fiesta STs, and he's a multiple auto test champion. Shane Murphy, I'll see your auto test championships, Eddie, and I'll raise it by your World Hot Rod Championship and a load of Zetecs Championship. So as you can see, there's a lot of talent on this grid. But that's not it, there's still more. Stephen Marr, ex-Irish touring car driver. Adrian McNally from rallying. Max Turley, is Max Turley back out there? He is back out there. Well, Max Turley gave us all the entertainment this morning, and that car took a fairly heavy hit down into turn 1, but Murray Motorsport have got it going. And then Gary Corcoran, is Gary Corcoran back out there? Let's have a look. As they come back into sight here, I'm not sure if Gary's on the grid or not. We'll see in just a minute's time. They're out the way. He is. He absolutely is. So great stuff by all concerned to see some of these cars back out there. It's always give us good entertainment. 340 brake horsepower, DSG boxes, just 2 pedals and paddle shift on the steering wheel. Proper touring cars here in Ireland. Somewhere around 30 grand to buy you one of these, but they seem to be depreciation proof. They were 30 grand 7 or 8 years ago when they arrived in Ireland. They haven't got any dearer or cheaper. Guys that race them absolutely love them. The running costs are not as big as they say they've spoken about, but apparently if you crash damage can be quite expensive, as with any touring car, but certainly running costs not too bad. Pannonia car, watch out for that. Max Turley, he absolutely charged up through the grid. Max Turley is great aggressive, a real racer, and it'll be good to watch out for him in this one. The car's repaired, looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? Well done to Murray Motorsport on that one. And Gary Corcoran, his car's always absolutely beautifully prepared. Corcoran's crash repairs. It's his daughter we saw earlier, Liv Corcoran, making her race debut in the Fiesta Zetecs Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. Away they go down to turn 1. Glorious sound effects from the Zetecs. Maguire takes the lead. Berry on the outside. A great start. A lot of locked up wheels. Stephen Wright into the back of Paul O'Brien. Sends him around. He sends Berry round. Shane Murphy sent out to the kiddie leader. Gary Corcoran says, I'll just stop here until this clears up. Into first, and away he goes. No real damage done. Let's hope Shane Murphy can get back out of that one. The problem with these cars when they get sent sideways is the driver's telling me they have very, like all touring cars, very little lock, which is exactly what Dave Maguire needed there when the back end stepped out. Oh, big cloud of smoke in the background, it waved yellows down at turn 3. That's Turley off, but he's recovering. Max Turley obviously trying to make up 1,500 places inside a lap, which he'd have to do from the back. We'll watch his recovery with great interest. So it looks like Dave Maguire for Paul O'Brien in the D'Aubry Sports Cars car, is it? It is. Then it's Wright holding everyone back. Uber defensive mode for Stephen Wright. And look at this, he's got Parr on the inside, Peterson on the outside. They're elbowing each other. Barry English wants a bit of the action too. He's on the outside of Parr now as they head under the BMW bridge and down into turn 1. Oh, big lock up for Peterson and goes wide. Takes the place away, but just in too late in the brakes. But he has it back surely for turn 2. He's not going to back out of that one, Eddie Peterson. Or is he? We're just moved away from it there, side by side. Okay, well, out of our shot, Stephen Wright's got by Eddie Peterson there. Peterson certainly had it at turn 2, but it's Wright, Peterson, Parr in there, and English too as they come down into the S's. White flag, slow moving car. That's Berry's car, is it? The Berry's car pulling into the paddock there, just at the bottom of our screen. No, in fact, it was one of the rescue units just getting out of the way. So it's Maguire, it's Paul O'Brien, then it's Wright, Peterson, Parr, Barry English. Somebody else coming up to them. Is that Adrian McNally? It is Adrian McNally, the rally man. Going nicely there and hanging on to this group. Again, Peterson thinks about the same thing again, but this time Wright has it covered down the inside. So Dave Maguire out front, Paul O'Brien in second place. He was telling me he's a little bit rusty. Well, the rust must be disappearing because he's going okay there in second place. Paul O'Brien in the ex-Sam Mansfield car. He's running nicely in second place. Stephen Wright in third place, but he's under big pressure, or is he beginning to ease away from Peterson? Eddie Peterson next up, then Parr. A minute .1, the fastest lap to Dave Maguire out in front. Maguire from O'Brien, from Stephen Wright, Eddie Peterson, Paul Parr, Barry English, Adrian McNally, Stephen Marr, Gary Corcoran and Max Turley was the order when they went across the line. There's English with a big lunge up the inside. I think I thought he had the job done, but Paul Parr said no way and just shut the door. And I see a few very small specks of rain on the commentary box window here. Thought I saw one of the cars with their wipers on, one or two. Peterson giving a quick wipe there as they go under the bridge as well. Into the 59s now, that time round. Fastest lap 59.3 for Dave Maguire, 59.9 for Paul O'Brien, 59.8 for Stephen Wright. I was right beginning to ease away now by a few tenths from Eddie Peterson. Paul Parr with a 59.8 as well. So good stuff here. That's where all the action is in that group. Let's see where Mark Turley is. Still down in 10th place, but he did a 59 that time round, 59.9. So Turley beginning to push, but a lot of work to do. In fact, he's got down the inside of Gary Corcoran, out of shot, just behind these guys. So Turley on a big charge. You can just see at the top of your screen, he's ahead of one of those cars, Max Turley. But this is the battle for third place. Stephen Wright not leaving any gaps there at all, and Peterson having to go in late on the brakes to rebuff that challenge for Paul Parr. Barry English breathing down his neck, and Adrian McNally not too far away. And now the rain beginning to fall again. You can see it on the camera lens, gone very dark out of turn 3. All these cars on slick racing tyres. See how much the lap times go out by when they come round this time. There's no standing water or anything like that, so it might just slow them down a little bit. We'll need a heavier shower rain than that. Once the slicks are up to full temperature, they will still work as long as there's no standing water on the track. Maguire goes through a minute .5, so it's taken added about 1.2 on. Oh, Paul O'Brien a minute dead. Paul O'Brien takes 5 tenths back out of the lead. Beginning to push now is Paul O'Brien, and Dave Maguire's lead has been slashed down to less than 2 seconds, 1.7. That was a good lap from Paul O'Brien. So minute point 3 for Peterson, a minute point 5 for Paul Carr, a minute point 4 for Barry English, but a minute dead for Paul O'Brien that time round. To come back towards us, and I think he is beginning to ease up visibly on Dave. He's got a lot of work to do, obviously, but I think he is closing in on Dave Maguire. The Jerry Maguire and Sons panel beaters car out front of Dave Maguire, 3 times Fiesta ST champion. Always a Phoenix Park specialist when the Phoenix Park used to run years ago. Won there in an Uno, I think, many years ago when Uno's was really competitive, all the top drivers in it, probably the early mid-90s. I think that gap's going to be slashed again, you know. Let's see when they go through. No, Maguire in the 59s that time takes 2/10 back and the gap out to 1.9. It's Peterson who's quick this time round with a 59.1. He's 7/10 quicker than the leader. And Paul Parr with him, a 59.2. So they're the quickest that time round. Maguire goes through it all back in the 59s except for Eddie Peterson, who tips into the 58s. So does Parr. So if they stay away from each other, they could close up on Paul O'Brien. 7 minutes still to run in this one. So that the two leaders, Maguire and Paul O'Brien, 59.2, but a 58.8 for Peterson and a 58.8 for Parr. 59.2 for English, 59.7 for McNally. A minute point 6 for Stephen Maher, who's up to 7th place now. We're missing Stephen Wright, Brian Berry and Shane Murphy. Dave Maguire not making any mistakes up front. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Paul O'Brien because Eddie Peterson is coming at him like a train behind. That was 2.4 seconds. It's nothing like that now. But he's definitely being caught, Paul O'Brien. 59 dead for the leader, 59.5 for Paul O'Brien, 58.9 for Peterson, 58.9 for Parr. So Eddie and Paul are coming up to say hello to Paul O'Brien, I think. Paul Parr right with Eddie Peterson the whole way. That's Stephen Wright, I think. Is it just leaving the pit lane? Obviously a problem with that car. He heads back out there now as the rain continues to fall. Not really affecting the lap times. This is in the 58s. These two in particular going very quickly. Paul O'Brien might have responded. Just before the rain came, Paul O'Brien was reeling in Dave Maguire, but Maguire's been quicker now, half a second quicker last time round. There's our leader. There's second place. And there's Eddie Peterson locking the inside front, definitely closing him down. Paul Parr thinks of a look up the inside. Eddie's going, not now, not now. If we run in tandem, we can catch this guy. So Maguire, O'Brien, Peterson. Yeah, they're all getting slower now. Nobody under the minute on that lap. It's obviously getting a little bit slippier out there. A minute point 7 for Maguire, 101.2 for Paul O'Brien, and 101.1 for Peterson, who doesn't take much out of O'Brien. So 5 minutes to go. I know Paul O'Brien and Dave O'Brien would be delighted if they could hang on for a second place on their first time out in this series. Paul O'Brien, I don't think Paul O'Brien's driven in it last before. He did some ITCC racing in a Sirocco and was very quick back in the day, but that's a long time ago. Might have done some ST racing, I'm not so sure, in the early days of that class. Now it's raining heavily. I can see it again, as I've said a couple of times today, on the windows of the commentary box. Oh, they've caught him, and it's going to be a move up the inside, is it? Indeed it is. They've both gone by. Paul O'Brien must have been compromised coming out of the S's. They've both got by him, and indeed now Barry English trying to get by it. He does do it, does he? No, Paul O'Brien trying to give Barry English the squeeze. I think he manages to get back across in front of him. He does, just hangs on to that one. So it's Peterson and Parr now up to second and third. Very slow lap from Paul O'Brien, 106 that time round, so obviously had a problems. I'm assuming he got out of shape, but the S is out of our shot. So Peterson, it is now fastest on track. In fact, he has got the fast lap from earlier on, but certainly Dave McGuire's got the head down at 102 last time round, way quicker than anybody else on track. There is the original fastest lap from earlier on in the race, 58.804. They're not lapping at anything like that pace now, as you can see by the rain. 102 for the leader last time round, 104 for Peterson, 103 for Parr, who fancies his chances here, doesn't he? You can see it. But Eddie Peterson trying his best to get away. Then it's Paul O'Brien, Barry English, and a great performance by Adrian McNally. He's a rally man coming into this class that's full of experienced Sintop racers and has been improving every time out. He's got DOB sports cars running him this year. There you are, Adrian McNally, 106.5, is a tenth quicker than the leader that time round. But Stephen Marr, let's see, there's a lot of quick times there. Max Turley, 105.745. So Max Turley and Eddie Peterson, the two fastest cars on track in these conditions. I think Parr will probably bang a quick one in next time around because he's closed down Peterson again here, hasn't he? You can see it as they struggle to get the power down at the apex. Just 2 minutes 59 to go, just under 3 minutes, and the rain is heavy now coming down. Really difficult conditions, slick racing tires, wipers full on in the leader's car. Dave McGuire's made no mistakes in this one, just driven away. He's controlling that gap nicely, he has it at 5 seconds, and Peterson goes wide. Paul Parr up the inside, it's a drag race on the straight. I think Parr's got the nose up the inside, has he? No, maybe not. Peterson just manages to contain that one. Will he shut the door or leave it open? Shuts it gradually as they go down under the bridge. Eddie Peterson and Paul Parr now second and third. Both quicker than the leader again that time round. .64 Stephen Marr. Stephen Marr going well in these conditions. He's lost a place to Max Turley, but he did a quick one the lap before this. Turley on a 7-1 now. Up to, where is Max Turley? He's up to 7th place. One minute 52 to go. Second and third place battle still rages. Paul Parr has been just stuck to the back of Peterson's car for the duration. Hasn't really, he's had one go when Peterson made a bit of a mistake, but he hasn't made any mad lunges. I think he'd love a podium here, Paul Parr. But if any mistakes come, I think he will pounce. Certainly driving very well today. Peterson right onto the curbs and getting a little bit of a shimmy there on the exit of the final corner. The rain begins to really start beating down here at Mondello Park. Oh, driving rain coming across the paddock now. I can see everybody running for cover. That's as bad as we've had today, the rain. Really storm conditions coming to Mondello Park now. McGuire still leading this one. It's hard to see anything out of the commentary box or out of the windows. The marshals will be getting soaked. Lucky enough they've little huts they can get a little bit of shelter from, but I wonder, are we going to see a red flag here? Just watching the starter down below me. 42 seconds to go though. We're very much in the closing stages of this. If we could see anything at all. Here's McGuire. Peterson bearing down on him. Parr not too far away either. 26 seconds. They will get one more lap. This is the last lap, but in horrendous conditions for Dave McGuire. He goes through 109. 108 dead, so 1.7 seconds quicker, and the gap is at 2.3. It's not over yet. Eddie Peterson, the auto tester. Shouldn't really be calling him the auto tester anymore, should I? He's an accomplished circuit racer at this stage. He's a champion in Fiesta STs. He's best known to us from being a multiple championship winning auto tester. Ironically enough, the sun is coming out and it's still raining really heavily. I've never seen weather, well, I've seen weather like this in Mondello Park, but not all in one day. Really, really odd. You can see the track beginning to brighten up there as the sun is coming in from out over the Hill of Allen direction, but it's still absolutely hammering down with rain. There's a lot of standing water. You need to be careful here. You can slide one of these cars off. Peterson's throwing caution to the win because he wants to win, whereas Dave Maguire is being more sensible, taking it easy and just trying to get to the flag. That gap was at 2.3 seconds when they went by the last time. It's nothing like that now. Here they come for the final time. The clock is at 0, coming up to the final corner. Jerry Maguire and Sons. Dave Maguire hasn't made any mistakes at all now. And he gets it out of the final corner and down to take the checkered flag. He'd be delighted with this one. That's a well-earned win. Didn't put a wheel wrong, and the checkered flag is waved for Dave Maguire. Great drive by Peterson, the second. Parr is going to be third place. Paul O'Brien is going to be fourth. He'd be delighted with that one, as will his brother Dave O'Brien, DOB, the Porsche specialist in West Dublin. Then Barry English right with him, and Adrian McNally for what I think might be his best result, top 6 for him. And Max Turley. And then it's going to be Stephen Marr. We're missing Gary Corcoran, Stephen Wright, Brian Berry, and of course Shane Murphy. That was an off early on, so there you go. We'll have a look at the official result now as Stephen Marr comes down to cross the line. So there we go. Dave Maguire takes the win, and the gap slashed there by Eddie Peterson to 2.1 seconds on the final lap. Paul Parr, great race from him to take a podium. And Paul O'Brien in fourth place. He was second for so long in that one. Barry English in fifth. Adrian McNally, the rally man, in sixth place, ahead of Max Turley, Stephen Marr. I think that's all the finishers we have. Gary Corcoran didn't make it to the finish, nor did Stephen Wright, unfortunately, and we lost Brian Berry and Shane Murphy early on. So that was race 2 for the SEAT Supercup Ireland. We were going to have the ZTECs next up, but I believe there's a lot of disciplinary issues to do, so I think Boss Ireland will be next up. The Connolly's Top Line Formula Boss Ireland Championship. I'm sure they're bolting on wets as we speak, so we'll probably have a few minutes. We might have a commercial break while we're waiting for that one, so it'll probably be a few minutes before we see the Boss Ireland cars on track, and the Fiesta Zetecs have been pushed out to the last race of the day. So in the order now will be the Connolly's Top Line Formula Boss Ireland Championship, then the Legend Ireland Championship, and then the Siltech Safety Fiesta Zetec Championship Race 2, before we conclude our coverage from a very wet Mondello Park here in County Kildare with Infinite Energy and the Beacon Hospital. So yeah, we've seen every colour of sky. Rainbow there with a pot of gold at the end of it, just missing the Mondello Park office on the right-hand side beyond the ground. So it's certainly not hitting me in the tower here on the left-hand side of your screen. So yeah, just to talk about our sponsors again for a minute. Infinite Energy, the new title sponsor of the whole package of the ICCR. The ICCR package now in its third year at Mondello Park, fourth year I should say at Mondello Park, and it's been a huge success. It's rejuvenated circuit racing. It's been a slow increase, but it has increased. We're now up to a 21% increase in grid sizes, far more than that in terms of spectators. and it seems to be a nicer place to be in terms of the paddock and for drivers and competitors. A lot of work still to be done, but a lot of improvements coming. There's the wind farm that's half it, that's been started at Mondello Park. Infinite Energy supplied those solar panels to Mondello Park. It's all the way across the roof of the corporate suites, and on the far side of the track they're also across the roof of the Mondello Park Museum of Motorsport, which houses the Bahrain collection, Formula 1 cars, Le Mans cars, NASCARs and the like. And of course we do have we have a fleet of electric Opel courses that we use for the transition year program. There you can almost see them there. That's the workshop actually. It's behind the grandstand. But we have a fleet of electric Opel courses, e-courses that we use for the transition year road safety program, early drive, and they're pretty much charged for free now by these electric panels. So a lot of work gone on. You see on the right hand side there, a new car park. There's new resurfacing gone all the way down the outside of the track, new laurel bushes, new car park lining, new pickup units. You can see one of them there in the pit lane. So a lot of work, but digital signage as you come in from the main road, digital signage at the bottom of the tower, which can have the logo of classes or championships or special messages written on them. So things keep moving at pace here at Mondello Park. Nothing we can do about the weather, unfortunately, but certainly great to have Infinite Energy on board. It's a really good partnership for Mondello Park and for Infinite Energy. So if you're looking for any or thinking about it, considering any solar panels in your business or home, do talk to those guys. Let's keep it in the paddock as we try and do here at Mondello Park. Beacon Hospital, of course, have come back on board again, thankfully, and allowed us to run this live stream. And we will be running the live stream from every ICCR event this year, on the Sunday of every ICCR event. We did have the junior minis, the patch tire equipment junior minis yesterday, and they were unbelievably good. It was a slow start to get them up and running, but with a lot of work in, and Mondello have invested very heavily. They've bought a car, they've given free registrations to the drivers. We've had free test days out on the international loop, loads of stuff like that. So it's been a long 2 year slog, but now it's working really well. 15 cars here yesterday and some incredible talent. We had the fourth generation of the Files family, the third generation of the Richardson family, and with some really quick XRSA drivers as well, some 14-year-old drivers out there, and they were just absolutely fantastic. So we're looking to see if we can get them a slot perhaps on the Sunday of a race meeting, because they would give us great, absolutely brilliant television. They were really, really talented young drivers, and their parents and teams can be very, very proud of them. Performed well here yesterday. Back now to the fastest cars in the paddock today. The Boss Ireland cars coming out of the garages and out of the pit lane, and that's Max Hart just going by. So that's Max Hart, more known to us from TCR cars around the world, but having a go on the Leastone today. Just got outgunned in the first race today. It just doesn't have the power of the other cars, but he'll be hoping to show something special here in the rain. Tony Greenan starts on pole position. The reigning champion dominated this morning. Michael Connolly in that beautifully turned out car, the World Series by Renault, on the outside of the front row. And then it's Michael Roach and Noel Robinson. They had a cracking battle in race one. Really, really good. The two F3 cars, so watch out for them. And Martin Daly, the entertainer, in another World Series by Renault. Then Daniel Fardy, another F3 car. Max Hart in the Leastone. And Eamon Matheson showing up, but I'm not sure if he's out there. I don't think he showed earlier. I don't think he did. And Gary Graham, I don't think it'll be a show. Gary Graham just, whatever problem he had, he just went around, circulated very slowly in the first race earlier on today, and managed to get it to the flag. But I would be surprised if we saw him out there again. Now weaving around. They will have all changed all their settings. Of course, they will have fitted grooved wet weather tires. They will have softened off the suspension as much as they can. Some of them even disconnect roll bars on single seaters. Anything you can do to make the car more flexible, to give it more outright grip in wet conditions, they will have tried to do. Here comes Greenan down to the start line. Very potent little car. Ex-Alex Albon, the Formula 1, the Grand Prix driver. That's his car from 2015. Dallara chassis and a Mercedes engine. Very, very potent bit of kit. I've only got, I think, I might get this wrong, but somewhere around 250 brake horsepower, I think. But the chassis is so impressive. The power delivery is fantastic, and the chassis have got so much grip that they really are very, very quick around here, these Formula 3 cars. But certainly the car on the outside, the front row, would have a lot more power. The World Series by Renault. Michael Connolly, then Michael Roach and Noel Robinson. We're getting ready to go. It's all about controlling the wheel spin, and Connolly gets left sitting. In fact, almost going with him was Robinson. But the pole man makes no mistakes. Roach it is in second place. Max Hart with a big lunge down the outside, looking for superstardom. He's got by Connolly. Oh, he's very sideways on the way out of turn one. Vision a bit of an issue. Greenan in front. It looks like the battle's going to be rejoined for that behind them, because that is Roach and Robinson. They're not letting Greenan get away too much, are they? He just drove away from everybody this morning. Certainly they're impressing in the wet, these two. But Tony Greenan leads down into the main arena. It's the three F3 cars together. Rooster tails of spray being kicked up off the Mondello tarmac. Absolutely together. Greenan trying to get the power on there, looking in his mirror. Robinson tries to get up the inside of Roach. I think he's got it done. He definitely had better traction out of there, didn't he? Just got the nose up the inside, then got the drive on the way out. But certainly Greenan able to drive away from both of them on the main straight. They stuck with him for a lap, but down the main straight that time round, he opened the gap out. And considering they were nose to tail at the S's, he was 1.124 seconds ahead when they crossed the start finish line. So Greenan beginning to push on just a little bit. Robinson in second place. Robinson second, Roach in third. Gap back then to Martin Daly, Michael Connolly, Max Hart. Gary Graham did come out of the pit lane, but I think as in, I haven't seen him out there just yet, but maybe they fixed the car. He's shown up twice in the timing screen. Yeah, Greenan not getting away too much. Robinson, in fact, hanging on to him at this time. So Robinson, the Formula Ford racer, former Formula Ford racer from Northern Ireland, is closing down Tony Greenan now. Surely be fastest lap for Robinson. It is 57.9 as opposed to a 58.4. So Greenan having to defend. The first time we've seen that today. And Robinson just cruising up behind him. There's his fastest lap, 57.949. So it's Greenan, Robinson, Roach, Connolly, Daly, Fardy and Max Hart. So Robinson looking very good here as he tracks the champion, Tony Greenan. Greenan took a dominant victory in race one, but certainly here, look how quick Robinson is through the second bit of the S's. He's quick enough to make the leader defend on the way up to Southside, isn't he? And he's down the outside in the brakes. We saw from the way he got by into second place how much traction he has out of here. He's trying to use it there. Now he's riding the wheel tracks of Greenan, and Greenan just stuck to the mirrors. Head turned slightly to the right as they go line astern down towards turn one. And once again, Greenan's down the inside and is under big pressure here from Noel Robinson, who's fastest again that time round with a 57.4. Graham is out there and he's circling very slowly. In fact, a massive speed difference here between him and the leaders. Are going around in 57 seconds. He's going around in 1:12. So hopefully, I'm sure the marshals will wave blue flags and alert Gary to the fact that they're coming at him, because they're coming very quickly. They're going to lap him already. We're only 3 laps in. Greenan again looking to the right. Look at that, keeping an eye on the right mirror, getting that door closed. They're very equally matched in terms of pace, these two. Greenan knows exactly what he has to do here, just checking the left mirror, making sure there's no lunge down the inside. Still on the outside, but Robinson with a nice clean line on the way out tries to maximise the speed through turn 2. Absolutely together for the lead in this one, Greenan and Robinson. There they gone by Gary Graham. way back down to the main arena. Robinson very aggressive through the S's. He's right with him and right under the gearbox. Has a look up the inside. Greenan has to defend. Robinson goes high and wide. Up over the inside curve, looking to get up the inside. Greenan has that covered. Get an equal run on the way out, but Robinson right in his wheel tracks now as they go by. The two Northern Irishmen battling at the front of Boss Ireland. It's Greenan reigning champion. Sun is out again down at beyond turn 3. It's always difficult for the drivers when the sun comes out late in the day, because as you're heading out towards turn 3, the sun shines straight into your eyes. It can be very difficult, especially for single-seater drivers. Down into the main arena again, the two F3 cars still locked together, a little bit further ahead this time. 9 minutes still to go. It's Greenan, Robinson, Roach, Connolly, Faherty, Daly and Max Hart, and then Gary Graham, who's a lap down already. Obviously some serious mechanical problems for poor Gary Graham. Sideways stuff for Greenan that time. That cost him a little bit of time, and here comes the challenge now. Pulling out from behind his gearbox, trying to get side by side. The two F3 cars are side by side into the braking zone, down into turn 1. Big flames in the back of that car of Noel Robinson on the overrun. Still a lot of standing water on track, even though the rain stopped falling. You can see the spray as they're coming out of turn 1. Down to turn 3 again. Greenan this time not leaving any gap at all, and beginning to back of the car, beginning to move around, wagging its tail there. Noel Robinson's car, as he tries to get on the power, begins to get a bit more aggressive now. He would love a win here today, and he can smell one right there. Looks like they're going to lap Max Hart and Martin Daly. Martin Daly's car very quick in a straight line, but it would be a handful in these wet conditions, I'd imagine. Watching for the leaders to come bearing down on them. Gary Graham speeded up just a little bit, so maybe that problem's cleared. He's down from 112 to 107. So Max Hart in a 105. Leaders lapping in the 57s. Here we go, Martin Daly, Max Hart now under attack from our new leader. While we were following somebody else, we've lost our leader. Can't see Noel Robinson, he's there in the background. So apologies for that, but we have got a new leader, Noel Robinson, giving Max Hart very little room in the braking area down into turn 1. Just by Martin Daly and away, and there is Tony Greenan. So Tony Greenan losing 2 seconds somehow on that last lap. Robinson now leading by 2.8 seconds when they went by that time round. He did his fastest lap of the race, a 56.395. In fact, that's the fastest lap of the race with 6 minutes still to run. Be quicker again. Greenan, or Robinson I should say, visibly quick through the S's there. He was 2.8 seconds to the good. Let's see what he can do this time around. It was 56.395. 57.1, a little bit slower actually, so can Greenan capitalize on that? No, Greenan out to a minute .406. Roach 58.7, quicker than Greenan that time round, but he's well back down the road, some 15 seconds back. 6 seconds the gap between Robinson and Greenan now. Robinson now 8 seconds to the good, 7.8 actually as they went by last time. Let's have a look this time. It's 57.2 for him that time round. Certainly is a massive gap. There's nobody touching Noel Robinson in these wet conditions. His car set up superbly. He seems very comfortable and he's beginning to flick around just a little bit. In 9.5 seconds the gap now with 4 minutes to run. Robinson back down to near the fastest lap again, 56.9, just a few tenths off his quickest lap. 3 minutes to go on this one. He's on his way out to turn 3, a few more laps to run for him. It's quite bright and the rain has stopped here. In fact, the windows have dried off in the commentary box. But that was a proper shower of rain before this one and again during it. Robinson from green in the gap at 12 seconds now. Robinson with 38 laps done, minute 42 still to run. Couple of hardy photographers still out there we see. Tough day on them. It's Max Hart in the lead zone, currently in 6th place. Robinson, Green and Roach, Connolly, Faherty, Hart and Daly, and I think Gary Graham is indeed still running, yeah. Just looking at the timing screen there, Greenan hasn't given up. 57, no sorry, he's out to a 59.8 that time round. It's gone way out, 17 seconds. I was looking at fastest lap, apologies. So 37 seconds to go. The leader starting his last lap now. There he goes. Got Martin Daly for the second time. Absolutely flying. Martin Daly struggling a little bit. That's a very unwieldy car in wet conditions. And here's our leader out to turn 3. Nobody near him. I'm sure he's getting pit signals to tell him that he's 19.2 seconds ahead. Slows the car right down now as he comes around the second apex of turn 3 for the last time. Checkered flags prepared at the finish line below me. And here he comes, the Northern Ireland visitor. It's going to be 1-1 between him and Tony Greenan now in Boss Ireland. Comes towards the series, going to lap Max Hart for the second time as well. Max Hart just in a little 1000cc Leastone car built locally here to us near Mondello Park with Paul Heavey. He's delighted with that one, and why wouldn't he be? That's a great drive from Noel Robinson. Punches the air as he crosses the line. A minute .132 his final lap, including a little bit of traffic. Second place man coming down to take the checkered flag now. There we are, Connolly's top line, Boss Ireland Championship Race 2. Noel Robinson takes the win in the Dallara F307. Tony Green next up in the Dallara F317. Mercedes powered 2-litre. And Michael Roach in the Dallara F306. And Michael Connolly on the beautiful Renault World Series 2.7. And Daniel Faherty in the Dallara F308 Honda. Max Hart in the Leastone. Martin Daly in the Renault World Series. And Gary Graham in the Formula Renault. So just 8 finishers in that one. They come back into the pit lane, and next up will be the third and final race of their weekend for the Irish Legends in just a few minutes time. Boss cars still streaming in the pit lane.
Square left onto loop. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. George, go, go, go. right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it in, keep it in. Come on, keep on. Keep on, keep going.
Legends ready to go for the third and final race, and it's Anthony Malone on pole position, the Pink Panther on the outside, Derek Hogan, then Spence, Lawler, Curran, Willie Lawrence, Sylvie Bartlett, Robert, Michael Barrable, Scott Jackson and Lee Malone heading down towards turn one like a swarm of bees. The sun has come out once again. Look at Owen Lawler in the Mace car down the outside, having a look at the brother-in-law. How's things? Not too bad yet. Derek Hogan on the inside, Owen Lawler on the outside. Derek Hogan shovels him out there. Lawler's not going to back out of it. A little bit of a kiss there. Who's going to get it? It's the Pink Panther leading now through Campion Corner. Derek Hogan will be loving this one, feeding it gears on the way down to turn three, and Owen Lawler trying to track him down. This is good stuff. These two raced Fiats together, and then Owen Lawler went off racing karts, where Derek Hogan stayed in the Mondello Park. He's pretty experienced now. He's done the 6-hour race. He did a bit of global GT light racing, and he's got quicker and quicker in these, with the help of Paul O'Brien, the team, and these little legends. He was in top form yesterday. Got a result and looked like he was going to get an even better one until he just got tangled up with somebody, nobody's fault really, and shoveled off. But he'd love a result here in front of the live TV cameras at Mondello Park, the Beacon Hospital live stream, giving us great entertainment. We're getting messages from everywhere, all around the world today. The WhatsApp is hopping here in the commentary box. There he comes, late on the brakes. It doesn't defend. Is that a mistake? It's not a mistake. He gets it turned in beautifully. So no problem there for the Pink Panther leading out of the last corner. Owen Lawler was 4th on the grid. It's a good first lap for him as he tracks that car down. Trying to get a slipstream and get up to him. Michael Barrable up to 6th now. Who's gone down? Anthony Malone's gone down a place or two. So the order is Hogan, Lawler, Malone, Lee Malone. Sorry, Anthony Malone, Lee Malone, Richard Spence, Michael Barrable, William Lawrence, Evan Curran, Sylvie Bartlett and Scott Jackson is the order. Difficult to drive these cars in these greasy conditions. It's side by side, the two Malones for 3rd place there. Anthony Malone in 3rd, Lee Malone in 4th. But Derek Hogan leading this one, leading it nicely. Doesn't look like he's under pressure. Keeps the car nice and smooth on the way up, doesn't get it sideways. So it's Hogan, Lawler, Malone and Malone, and these 4 having made a little bit of a break now. Michael Barrable, is he on a move? We'll see the lap times when they come around. He's in that mix behind them, isn't he? Great sound effects. They're still all together. It's still one big long group of cars. Look at that, the whole pack still there, everyone in touch. Massive armful of lock for Barrable there as he gets it crossed up coming out of the S's again. Is he up? I think Barrable's up to 4th place here, you know. He is. Michael Barrable from way back on the grid. Where was he on the grid? He was back in 8th on the grid. Up to 4th place and looking very strong. This will surely be fastest lap for Barrable, will it? Yes, it will. Michael Barrable a 15.3. 7/10 quicker than the race leader, and he's down the outside now looking for 3rd place round the outside. Michael Barrable, the ZTech boys will be cheering him on. He gets around the outside, he's up to 3rd place. So the reigning ZTech champion, he said to me, I'm not finished yet, I'll get the hang of these cars. That was this morning. He certainly got the hang of them pretty quickly. He's going nicely now. Michael Barrable charging up to 3rd place and now closing down the Mace car of Owen Lawler and the Pink Panther car of Derek Hogan. So it's Hogan, Lawler and Barrable absolutely as one now. Still hasn't got by just yet, and it's allowed Derek Hogan to get away just a little bit as Barrable begins to crowd Owen Lawler now. Down the outside, he's so late in the brakes and sitting right round the outside. Owen Lawler gives him the width of a legend, just about, and Barrable will take it. That'll do, he says, and I'm up to 2nd place. He's not, he's in the lead. Barrable's done them both, round the outside and up the inside for turn 3. Michael Barrable really settling in these little legends. Malone having a look, but the Mace car fighting him off, and Michael Barrable has taken the lead, leading by 3 or 4 lengths. This is incredible stuff on his first weekend in Legends. I suppose we shouldn't expect anything less. Massively experienced and hugely successful. Here they come, back down into the main arena again. Long way to run, still 5 minutes to run on this one, but Barrable looking very strong. He's not fastest lap just yet, but he hasn't done a clear lap. He's just taken the lead. The Scott Jackson 14.5. Barrable right out to the edge here. POB team are waiting for him to come around. They won't be expecting him to be in the lead, surely. You'll see them on the pit wall. Oh, it's a lot of crowding going on behind them. Derek Hogan getting defensive there, slowing them right down. Watch the black jackets on the pit wall. That's the POB. Oh, they're waving, they're circling their hands, they're doing everything here. They're delighted with this. Michael Barrable out front. Fastest lap for Michael Barrable, a 14.2. Fastest lap. Oh, and off goes somebody on the outside. Oh, surely they can get it stopped. They can't. Well, that's some trying a big slide when they get it going. That is one of the Malones, I think, is it? Massive entertainment there. It's Anthony Malone, Sylvie Bartlett in the mix there as well, I think. There's a big scraps all the way down through them. Michael Barrable is pretty much checked out. He was 1.3 seconds to the good as they went by last time. Safety car's out. Somebody's gone off. Safety car out in this one with 4 minutes to run. It's already been scrambled and it's already in the middle of the track down at the grandstand. So Michael Barrable's usually experienced. He'll see the signs, he'll see the boards, and he'll slow it right down. Let's see where the rescue unit's headed. There's a stationary yellow, I think, already at turn 3, so I'm assuming that's where the issue is. You see the flashing lights on the pickup. There's a heads out there. Well, car being dragged backwards off the track, get out of the way so we can go back racing. There's the BMW Ireland safety car with the lights still flashing. So 1 minute 39 on the clock. We might get one lap to go. So the clock is still ticking and showing a minute to go. So are the lights off the BMW? They are. As the joke used to say years ago, they're on, they're off, they're on, they're off. But they're certainly off at the moment on the BMW M2 competition. 460 brake horsepower, 3.9 seconds to 60 if you want to drive that car. You can book it on mondellopark.ie. Here they come, legends up to the final corner. Michael Barrable, 38 seconds to go. This will be the final lap. Be a nice end to his first weekend in in Legends. If he could make this one work, he's got a good exit there, but he's got a real racer behind him. 1 lap to go. 23 seconds on the clock, and Michael Barrell will hang on here for a win on his first weekend. He's coming straight out of the back of a championship winning season in Fiesta Zetecs, Siltech Safety Fiesta Zetecs. I know Neil Murphy will be pushing him on, urging him to win, because Neil loves drivers to graduate from his Siltech Safety Championship into other championships and to go really well, and that's what Michael Barrable is doing here. He's just stretching his legs. He's leaving them all sitting on the way out to turn 3 in the MB Motors car. So MB Motors will be all over this on social media in the morning if he can hang on. Down through the gears, no mistakes, right into the apex. Yeah, he's going nicely here, Michael Barrable. Then Lee Malone, Derek Hogan will get a podium here if he can stay where he is. He'd be delighted with that one. Derek very excitable when he gets a result. He just loves the motorsport. And he is in third place and looking good, but it's Owen Lawler right behind him. Never mind the fact that he's family, he'll steal that prize away if he can in the last lap of the last corner. Michael Barrable looking very, very strong now. Coming up to Southside Motor Factors corner for the final time. He's going to take a win on his first weekend in Legends, and POB Racing will be delighted with this. We can see them all down there on the pit wall. They're absolutely jumping up and down for Michael. Big rounds of applause on the left hand side. Michael's got the hand in the air. He's well used to winning, but not in a Legend. Michael Barrable takes the win. Lee Malone not too far away. Derek Hogan will be ecstatic with another podium. Owen Lawler in 4th. Anthony Malone in 5th. Sylvie Bartlett in 6th. Then Scott Jackson, Willie Lawrence and Evan Curran. Absolutely fantastic entertainment. There is your result. And Michael Barrable, the rookie, that's not without irony, but he is a rookie in this class. Michael Barrable, even though he's raced everything for many years and won in most of them, he wins overall and first rookie. Then Lee Malone is the first pro home. Then Hogan, Lawler, Anthony Malone, and second rookie is Sylvie Bartlett, the Fiesta ST and V former driver. And then Scott Jackson, Willie Lawrence, and third rookie home is Evan Curran in that beautifully turned out car from Richard Spence. So great stuff from Legends Ireland. And that would have been finishing off our day, but of course don't forget that the Fiesta Zetecs were pushed out to the last race of the day, and they are lining up in paddock assembly, and this could be one of the most exciting races of the day. It's the biggest grid of the day, as ever. Neil Murphy will be down right in the thick of the action, the man from Ztech Safety, with his clipboard. The grid has been revised and will be coming up shortly. So there's a timetable just to have a quick look at. That's what happened earlier. But there's our grid, starting grid, and it's Sean McGovern on pole position. Promoted there by a penalty to Sam Doyle received a penalty. I'm not sure, we didn't see the reasons for them, but there were 2 or 3 penalties. So Sean McGovern starts from pole, Jason O'Connell alongside him. Then it's William Kellett and Andy Kavanagh, 2 of the quickest guys out there. Then David Maguire and Peter Barrable, same again. Mark O'Donoghue, Keith Lenihan, Kelsey Kirby, who we're on board with in race 1. Josh Brown, one of the top novices from last year. Then Sam Doyle, now he's got a penalty, he would be way further up, he was very impressive in race 1, Sam Doyle. Then Jordan Flanagan, another rookie alongside him. Then Phil Lawless, a former champion in this class, very, very quick man, real Mondello man, knows it better than anybody else. Mick McCardle in the Attics car again, the Attic company on the side of his car. Then Mick Keogh, who had a rough time. Mick was running the top 3 early on in race 1 and he got bundled around just a little bit, I think. And then Toby Maguire, Rallycross champion, number 16. I think he may have had a few marks on his car when they came around at the end of that first race as well. David Bradley from the Wexford Motor Club, Mark Daly in that beautifully turned out Martini replica car there by Rapco. And then Adam O'Mahony and another raw rookie on his first race weekend, Alex McCann. So we should be ready to go shortly in the Ztech Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. Ztech Safety, supplier of safety products, of branded clothing and sporting clothing. Does all the jackets that you just saw jumping up and down for POB Racing for Michael Barrable's win just now. Supplies all the clothing and safety wear to Mondello Park as well. So Neil Murphy, the contact there. He's always down in the paddock, always in the middle of his beloved Zetech Fiestas. And he will be down in assembly, no doubt, right now. They should be on track in just a few minutes' time. There's our Ztech Safety Solutions logo on the top left, the Beacon Hospital on the top right, because the Beacon Hospital, of course, allow us to live stream. They're partners with us here at Mondello Park. You can see their signage just in front of you, trackside there on the main straight, and then Infinite Energy, our new title sponsors for the 2024 ICCR. You can see the Masters flag in the middle there. That's the Mondello Masters are back. We had a gap with, in fact, bike racing everywhere in Ireland was on a break for a while, and it was really sad because there's a great community in Irish bike racing, and they're absolutely delighted that it's going to be back. And it was a test weekend here, just a test day, and it was as well attended as some race meetings. So the whole biking community absolutely delighted to be back racing. Check mondellopark.ie for dates, for Masters dates, for British Rallycrosses back here again at the end of May. ICCR is on pretty much once a month for the rest of the year. The 6-hour Fiesta races coming on. There's buggy races. There's lots of different stuff coming at Mondello Park. So mondellopark.ie will give you details. Just click events and you can see what's on here. So a little bit of sorting out going on in assembly for Fiesta. So we'll have a quick commercial break before we get going with our final race of the weekend at the Infinite Energy ICCR. So it's the biggest class of the weekend. To finish us off, it's the Ztech Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. Pretty much standard little Ztech Fiestas. You might think it's an unusual car for a race car, but they've got an incredible little 1.2 engine, loves to rev. Yamaha origins in its design, apparently, if you dig deep enough in your research. So it's a 1.25 engine, somewhere around 80 brake horsepower. It doesn't sound much. It doesn't matter when there are 30 of these cars on track. You're allowed to skim the head a little bit, and that's about it. You're not allowed to do a whole lot more. Safety features allowed. You're allowed to run Nankang tyres, control springs, control shocks, which are Ford normal standard. They're KYB, but they're to the same standard as the Ford shocks. So you see them moving around a bit there. They don't look particularly stiff. There's definitely a dark art to driving them, but they give us great entertainment, and they make motorsport accessible to the man or woman in the grandstand. 2 or 3 grand could get you a starter car. You can hill climb it, track day it, rally cross it, or you can race it here at Mondello Park, as we see right now. So absolutely fantastic entertainment, and these guys just love them. The talent at the front of this grid is as good as any other class we've seen all weekend. Make no mistake, it's very, very competitive. They've reversed the top 6. There's been a couple of penalties. Sean McGovern is on pole position. That beautifully turned out soft recruit car. He's got a penalty. He's appealed it. So I think he just got points. I'm not sure. I don't think he got a place penalty. The rookie, unfortunately, Sam Doyle, got a penalty, and that gave him put him back in the results, and he would have been on pole for this, and that's popped him back just a little bit. We will keep an eye on him. Mick Keogh got a penalty, which I wasn't something out of my view. Certainly, anytime I saw Mick, he was on the receiving end of it, but obviously something else happened that I didn't see, and he got a penalty, as indeed did James Byrne. So that's altered this grid just a little bit. But it's McGovern on the front row of the grid. Jason O'Connell, last year's rookie, on the outside of the front row. Beautifully prepared car. The Carmine Commercials, is it, on the side of that one? Then it's William Kellett in the DMC consultancy car. Their logo is very similar to Ztech Safety's logo, isn't it? The blue and orange logo, you can see it. You see the Ztech's one on the windscreen and the DMC one on the bonnet. There's not much difference. Andy Kavanagh's one you wouldn't mix up at all. It's looks like a Tiger. It's Miles Plus, the Circle K brand, Miles Plus on his car. Then it's Dave McGuire, watch out for him in the JMC car. And Peter Barable, always a danger man in the airport motoring, school of motoring and MB Motors car. It's a great start from McGovern from pole. Barable makes a good one as well and moves to the left. Nick Keogh with a good start from well back. He's got a little bit of a point to prove. Kelsey is in his right in his vision as he heads down towards turn 1. But it is McGovern, locked brake from Kellett, but they all stay away from each other, thankfully, this time through. And nobody going around. Still difficult enough conditions. See James Byrne going through there. So, yeah, it is McGovern leading this one. Sean McGovern, another member of the McGovern family. We saw Harry racing before, of course, very successfully. And Rod McGovern, massively successful. That's their dad. So down to turn 3. Second gear in these cars, third gear as they come up the hill. Jason O'Connell in second place, but McGovern with a length or two straight away. And somebody looking for third place, is that Kellett? It is. Kellett gets sideways down the inside, and in fact Jason O'Connell made that a little bit easy for him. He didn't close the door on the way up the hill. And he's going to lose another place now coming out of the S's because McGuire is sitting around the outside. Young Dave McGuire has always had some unorthodox passing positions, but Peter Barable says, how are you lads, and down the inside of both of them. That's a cracking move by Barable. He's done O'Connell, and I think he's possibly done McGuire. He's certainly alongside McGuire as they come out onto the main straight. This could be pivotal to the result of the race. McGuire on the outside trying to shut the door. Barable not letting him. I'm still on the inside there, Dave. And Barable has it, I think. I don't know why we've gone out of shot. There it is. He's down the inside now, and Barable is up to third place. That is incredible stuff from Peter Barable to get them both done. Dave McGuire sits around the outside though, but I think Barable's cleared him. No, he hasn't. McGuire's come back at him. They're still side by side. This is half a lap side by side. That's what you want. This is Fiesta Zetech racing. Peter Barable has it this time, surely, because it's a long, long right-hander. Well, Dave McGuire doesn't agree with me. I'm just going to drive around the outside of you, Peter. Well, I'll come back down the inside of the brakes then. This is great stuff. And this time, finally, surely, well, he won't give up, but he's had to go a little bit wide, and Peter Barable's got the job done. And that has allowed William Kellett and Sean McGovern to get away to a certain extent. So let's see what happens. Peter Barable with the head down. Gets it turned in. This is a car that was actually built by LOH Motorsport, and Barable bought it, and it was rented out to David Kennedy and Tommy Byrne and Michael Fassbender for the 6-hour race. So while it was sitting up, Peter said I might as well give it a spin. It's obviously pretty impressive. He won race 1. He's up to third already in race 2, but he's got a little bit of work to do here. Jason O'Connell dropping back a little bit. That's Mark O'Donoghue who's come up well, but he's gone grass cutting there on the outside. Mick Keogh in that one as well. Mick Keogh with Kelsey Kirby right behind him. She's trying to have a look around the outside. Looks like she can maybe get it done. McGovern beginning to ease away. The lap times will be interesting next time round. McGovern was quickest on that lap with a 14.1. This car's capable of doing low 12s, high 11s. There were talk of 10s on a test day here, but it was freezing cold, and all the cars were going, everyone was on lap record pace in all the classes. And that was earlier on in the year. Here they come down into the S's. Barable easing away there, but he needs to get the head down if he's going to stop Kellett getting away. He's 2.3 seconds back from Sean McGovern. McGovern was quickest last time round, so let's see what happens there. Then it's Kellett. Barable, I think, is closing in on Kellett just a little bit. No big lunges just yet. Big streams of cars coming up the hill. Mick McCardle going nicely there, mid-grade. Kelsey Kirby, all 4 wheels off the track on the way out of the final corner. Fourth place we're looking at there. Fifth place, sorry, Jason O'Connell. Andy Kavanagh bearing down on him. Dave Maguire is easing away from them though. Fastest lap is to Peter Barrable. We kind of expected that. Peter Barrable just by a fraction though. He's only 2/10 quicker than the leader, and he's 2.2 seconds away from him with 10 minutes to run. But I think Barrable will catch Kellett. I'm not sure if he can get by Kellett. I don't know if he'll get up to McGovern. Those three, they're all very, very quick. And that's Dave Maguire's kind of coming with him, isn't he? Dave Maguire's lap time 3/10 off Barrable last time round. Very good and tidy through the final corner. He's definitely closing in on William Kellett now. Is this going to be another fastest lap for Peter Barrable as they go by? It's fastest lap from McGovern. It's eclipsed by William Kellett, and it's eclipsed again by Peter Barrable. Everyone gets a go. It's 12:9.17 now for Peter Barrable. And that is another 4/10 quicker than Sean McGovern. He's now only 1.7 seconds behind the leader and only half a second behind William Kellett. So that's what we need to be watching. That battle for the lead is going to heat up halfway around this lap. I suspect that Peter Barrable will have caught William Kellett. He has caught him already at turn 3. Just ahead of this battle, we're looking for the Peter Barrable-William Kellett battle. Here it is, there's the leader, but right behind him, Barrable has caught William Kellett. There it is, Kellett now, he was out in his own, not anymore. So McGovern leads right up the outside. Kellett now almost defensive, turns in a little bit earlier maybe than he normally would. Peter Barrable has caught him and is right with him. Fastest lap for Barrable. McGovern will be fully aware of what's happening, and Dave Maguire won't stop pushing because William Kellett is talented and he's quick and he's not going to hand the place away, so this will turn into a little bit of a scrap. Barrable goes to the outside. Oh, he looked like he was going to take a lunge on the inside. He's gone right down the outside on the brakes. Looking to rattle William Kellett now, right in behind him. They're two famous racing names here at Mondello Park, Barrable and Kellett. Many different people from both families have raced over the years. So Barrable's just trying to move Kellett around. He's trying to get turned in later than him, get runs at him on the way out the corner. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll get by, but he'll be trying to force a mistake out of him or get a gap up the inside. Try and get him to go in a little bit too late on the brakes here and then get alongside on the way up the hill. But William Kellett's been around the block before. And what this will do, Dave Maguire, fastest lap last time round, he's going to come up here too. And that means Peter Barrable will have to drive with one eye on the mirrors. I think Peter Barrable probably always has one eye on the mirrors. He's pretty streetwise. So as we said before, a lot of talent in this. These 4 drivers incredibly quick and a few behind them as well. The first 4 together, they've been catching the leader by a couple of tenths a lap every time round. Barrable knows better than to attack because if William Kellett goes into defence mode, as the leader puts 2 wheels off, the leader will just get away, and Barrable always plays the long game. But William Kellett going nicely here in second place. Dave Maguire right with them again. Fastest lap again for Maguire. He's 4/10 quicker than the leader that time round. This time now, that's defensive stuff from Kellett, so Peter Barrable's going to have to switch to attack mode. He was happy enough to just move around behind him, but if William Kellett's going to start defending and going down the inside, that's going to cost him time. So he will have to get more aggressive in his attack. Well, he gets a run there again, but Williams got it covered beautifully. Just feints out to the right-hand side. Doesn't leave any gap down the inside. He'll probably be doing the same here, which should slow him down a little bit again. Barrable gets a better line on the way up, though. William Kellett missing the apex by a fraction, and puts Barrable right on his back bumper as they come up the hill. 6 minutes 49 seconds to run. The order: McGovern, Kellett, Barrable, Maguire, Jason O'Connell, Andy Kavanagh, Mark O'Donoghue going nicely, Michael Keogh in 8th, Kelsey Kirby in 9th, and the top rookie Toby Maguire is in 10th. Again, defensive stuff from William Kellett there. Dunshaughlin Motors, DMC.ie on the outside of his car there. Very close for second, third and fourth. And in fact, Andy Kavanagh's got by in the background. Andy Kavanagh's got by Jason O'Connell, who's fighting back on the main straight. Barrable goes to the outside a little bit earlier this time. Gets all the way up the outside. This will interest Dave Maguire. Maguire gets down the inside. Oh, and just shoves Barrable off the track. I'm not sure that they tangle wheels. That certainly didn't look good. I'm not sure what happened there. I wonder did they tangle steering wheels. I'm not sure that Dave would just have done that, but certainly Barrable got bundled out of it there as he was trying to make his move. So I think we're going to have a look back at that one. That's that move down into turn 1. Peter Barber way back now. He's back in the middle of this. Has he split those two? He has. Here it is. Yeah, there's something up there, isn't there? He didn't. I don't think he would have shoved him off and gone off with him. I wondered, did they interlock front wheels for a second or something? Because it's like Dave McGuire had no lock on from the apex onwards. And both went straight off, so I'm not sure what happened. It looked a little bit strange, but I'm sure the officials will have something to say about that as they come down into turn 1. Peter Barber with all the work to do again. He's down the outside on the brakes now. Peter Barber trying to move back up. McCardle in the Attic Company car again. Mark Daly going through. Rookie, he's running 4th in rookies at the minute. Here's the back to the leader now on the way back down towards us. Sean McGovern hasn't put a foot wrong. Not happy with his penalty in race 1. He's appealed that, so he'll be looking for a win here to get as many points as he can. 12.9 for personal best for him last time round. Fastest lap is to Dave McGuire, 12.6. Peter Barber back down to 6th place now after that. Has he made any places up? I think he's made 2, has he? Or certainly made 1. Oh, a big lunge from Peter Barber up the inside. Andy Kavanagh gives him a little bit of room. Barber tries to get up the inside. Kavanagh is rushing across to the pit wall. He's not going to leave any gap there at all. Peter Barber's got to rethink it. Great battles down that grid. Mick Keogh, Mark O'Donoghue, Kelsey Kirby in the middle of one there. Barber trying to get by Andy Kavanagh still. Jason O'Connell with a great view of that one. Mark O'Donoghue going beautifully. If you look closely at Mark O'Donoghue's car, you can see the bumpers. They've been hand painted by his kids. Really cool. He put it up on social media, took the bumpers off, brought them into the house, and the kid got the markers and the crayons out, and then he lacquered the 2 bumpers and refitted them to the Fiesta. So a real family effort from Mark O'Donoghue. And he's going well. He'll be happy to be in the top 10, but the red flags are out. Not sure where the incident is. Red flags are out. The race has been stopped. Waved red flags furiously around the track. I can't see anything neither on the screen nor out the windows of the commentary box. Certainly somebody's off. Turn 2 it looks like. Coming up towards us now, red flags are being waved. They'll probably stop at the on the grid. Rescue unit heading out there. I can't see anyone who's missing, but let's have a quick look. Yeah, there is a car somewhere around the hole in the hedge there. There it is. Let's see whose car that is. It looks like, yeah, I think that's Liv Corcoran. She's fine. She's out of the car and helmet off. Is that her? Not sure. Let's have a look. We can see which other cars come back around. There's a few cars there at the back gate, parked up already, looking to come back in. Alex McCann and James Byrne. Checkered flag being waved, even though we're 3 minutes to go. So checkered flag's waved. That's going to be a result. Well, Peter Barber will definitely not be too happy about that one. So that result will be Sean McGovern taking. So the car's just streaming back into the pits. That will conclude our racing for the weekend here at Mondello Park. So Sean McGovern taking the win from William Kellett, Dave McGuire, Jason O'Connell, Andy Kavanagh, Peter Barber, Mark O'Donoghue, Mick Keogh, Kelsey Kirby and Toby Maguire. There's the graphic. That's our top 10. So first rookie is Toby Maguire, Rallycross champion, taking a rookie win on his first race meeting weekend. Good stuff from Toby. There's Michael McCardle. For the Attic Company, we might as well mention the sponsor again. And P11 for him, he'd be happy enough with that. Jordan Flanagan next up. Sam Doyle, another rookie there, both rookies. Then Eduardo Gonzaga. Mark Daly, another rookie. They'll all get plenty of rookie points for the title chase. David Bradley, Wexford Motor Club, Keith Lennon. Adam O'Mahony, another rookie. Then Josh Brown and Liv Corcoran. I think it might have been her car that stopped down at just beyond turn 2, but she's absolutely fine. The driver was out of the car. I think it's more mechanical than an impact perhaps, but there's no problems there at all. Then we're missing Alex McCann and James Byrne, both of whom came in the back gate early on, so the car's already back in Parc Fermé. Well, there you go. That concludes the racing at Mondello Park. A little bit of an anticlimax there, but we always get great from the Siltec Safety Fiesta Zetecs. We've had 2 days of great action. Big thanks to Infinite Energy for coming on board as the title sponsor of the 2024 ICCR, for the Beacon Hospital for helping us to create this live stream, for See It Live, for such wonderful coverage all day. The competitors, the newbies, the rookies, been absolutely wonderful. I suppose the biggest thank you to Mondello Park track team, to the Marshals Rescue Starter, everybody like that, because it's been a really horrendous conditions here. It's sunshine, but it's very windy. We had storms yesterday, and we had, as you probably saw, every single weather condition today. If you want to look at it, we're here pretty much every month with the ICCR from now on. We'll stream every Sunday, ICCR.ie. If you want to pick classes, you can go in there. How to go racing, you can click on that. How to get a license. You can also see, feel like Theresa Mannion again here, getting blown away. You can also see dates, championship standings, technical regs. If you want to find out more about Mondello Park, mondellopark.ie. You can come down here, you can drive single-seaters, race saloons, Porsches, BMWs. You can have corporate events down here during the week. So much you can do. We've also got the bikes back here at Mondello Park. So the Masters are back, and that'll be big. British Rallycross are here at the end of May. Plenty on. If you want to see that, mondellopark.ie to get your license, Motorsport Ireland, of course, and ICCR will give you all the links as well. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. One more time, thanks to Infinite Energy for coming on board this year, and for the Beacon Hospital to allowing us to stream. We'll see you next time here on the live stream from the ICCR at Mondello Park.
Square left onto the yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. George, go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it it. Come on, keep on. Keep on. Come on. Keep going.